Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Just gotta do one quick thing, and we will be right up, getting and
Get
going.
up, we're going out. Dude, I made
Nope,
Totino's
don't want
Pizza.
that. Quiet you. There we go. Love advertisements. So, tonight we are doing a stream of Legacy Pox. We are a mono black, and not only that, but we have some a little bit of a spicier list than you might be used to for Pox. Naturally, Pox is not a tier 1 strategy. It's not even particularly considered competitive these days. Not like it used to be way back when. But we're going to try and do a little revival here. So, in this list, we still got like kind of the standard Pox pieces. We've got some Dark Rituals here to power out some turn 1 plays that are good. The playset of Innocent Blood here. We've got 4 Inquisition of Kozilek. That can be interchangeable between Thoughtseize and Inquisition in a lot of standard Pox lists. A pair of Cursed Scrolls. Really long-term clock, and early game it pretty much beats the crap out of most Delver variants. Naturally, a Cursed Scroll activation will kill any Delver, Deathrite, Young Pyromancer, and the like. We got a trip him to Torok. Hey, Johnny Carrot, how's it going? You're beautiful as well. Here we got Trips Him to Torok. Him to Torok's a great card. Target player discards 2 cards at random if you're not familiar with it. It's just a great 2-for-1 really, and that's what a lot of Pox is all about. It's 2-for-1s, card advantage through, symmetrical effects for the most part. So Small Pox is a great example of that. It's the staple card of the deck. 2 black sorcery. It's each player loses a life, discards a card, sacrifices a creature, then sacrifices a land. We run a lot more lands than most decks, and pretty much no fetch lands. We're on 20. I'm on 24 lands. A lot of people prefer 25. Even more if you don't have true mana sources. Like for instance, I have a Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale in the deck. Not a true mana source. So that's a little bit of a different different catch. Hey Kate, how's it going? 4 wastelands. When I consider land counts, I usually consider wasteland a spell more than land. Mostly just because wastelands basically destroy target non-basic land. Obviously, in a pinch, you can play it, tap it for mana. Colorless mana is not always useful, but sometimes you're trying to get to 2 to 3 mana. You already have a couple colored mana. That's all it needs. This plus a couple lands can cast a True Name. In this deck, it's cast Liliana the Veil. I've got a couple Mirage Mirrors in here because the card's just been sweet, and I really want to try it out in Pox because I think it can add a lot to the deck. Back to Smallpox, though, we play a lot more lands, so usually the sacrificing land's not an issue. Discarding a card, usually discarding a land or a Nether Spirit, which, at the beginning of upkeep, if it's the only creature in your graveyard, you can return it to the battlefield. In this case, in this deck, it is the only creature, so it'll always be able to return to the battlefield as long as it's there. So discarding that to a Smallpox, sacrificing a land that may not matter, Smallpox is essentially a card advantage for us because we don't care about most of those modes, whereas our opponent might, they're playing they've got a Delver, 1 land, and just crap in hand aside from that. You can really restrict what they can do based on their mana, based on, their creature base and whatnot. So Smallpox is just really great as far as that goes. We got 3 Liliana the Veil. A lot of Pox decks run 4. 4 may be correct in general, even in this weird list I'm kind of testing out. There's a few kind of spicy things I want to test. I want to increase my chances of finding them. So if I don't, if I decide that some of them aren't great, like if I find Mirage Mirror is not great, I can trim it for a 4th Liliana the Veil. She's no stranger in Legacy. If you're familiar with Legacy, you know Liliana the Veil really well. Even in Modern, she's pretty good. It's +1 each player discards a card. Again, we don't mind discarding our hand. We don't particularly want cards in hand. -2, target player sacrifices a creature. I mean, that's a great way to handle a True Name Loan on board, a Gurmag Angler. It's amazing against, if you get this on board, against Show and Tell, when they have to Show and Tell in 1 creature at a time. Liliana the Veil can take care of that. -6, you separate all permanents target player controls into 2 piles. That player sacrifices all permanents in the pile of his or her choice. Obviously, it's a good way to kind of reset the board a little bit for your opponent and kind of get back ahead in cards in case you've been restricted a little bit in what you can get done. And we also have a slow clock, so just kind of helps buys a little bit more time. Let's see here. Driscoll, hey, how's it going? No, I'm not sleepy. Luckily, I slept enough, so despite the fact you barged into my house and woke me up, it helps a lot. To explain that, Kate actually was at Eternal Weekend this weekend. My wife. She was supposed to get in at 11 this morning, but apparently her flight got in 40 minutes early or an hour early or something like that. So I was still sleeping. My alarm hadn't go off to go pick her up. So yeah, that's where that comes from. Thank you, Driscoll. That's exactly what I wanted on my live stream. I appreciate that, buddy. Remind me to beat you with a newspaper later, puppy. Liliana the Last Hope is our next Planeswalker. I'm doing a pair of these. I actually recently in POX, when I was testing, have been testing just for Liliana the Last Hope, no Liliana the Veil. Overall, Liliana the Last Hope has actually been really good for me. Most of the games I lose are not because Liliana the Last Hope is poor. It's mostly just because the deck just doesn't function. Again, like I was playing Sensei's Divining Top. The loss of top obviously didn't really help, having the card selection and whatnot. But +1 up to one target creature gets -2/-1 until your next turn. It's enough to like nerf a Delver down to a 1/1. It's enough to nerf like kill a Thalia, kill a Mother of Runes, things of that nature. So it's pretty good at answering a lot of problem creatures. The answers are Pyromancer right straight up, so that's awesome. Her -2's fairly irrelevant in this deck. I'm thinking about a pair of Tombstalkers either in the main or in the board. So her -2 becomes more relevant to buy those back and open up like if another Spirit's in the graveyard already. Open up like the option of getting another Spirit back without having to worry about multiple creatures in the yard. They're -7 win condition. The original Liliana the Veil, that's usually a POC staple. Isn't really a win condition. She's a very good card to restrict what your opponent can do to tap out their resources, answer their creatures. She doesn't actually win the game. So this is where Liliana Last Hope actually comes in handy real well. You control a game for a while. You can have like 5 or 6 turns where you're completely in control, but you don't have a win condition because Liliana the Veil doesn't do anything as far as that goes. This one, you control her for 5 or 6 turns, and you make an emblem, and all of a sudden, like you've got really fast clock. Every turn you make 2 zombies, and then plus the number of zombies you control. So, the first turn you get 2 zombies, the next turn you get 4, the next turn you get 6. So it just adds up, or 8. So it just adds up really quick, and you can close out a game really fast, which is one of the things I really like about this Liliana. And I think it's really important to have something like effect like this in the deck. Lost Legacy, something that Reed Duke was actually playing around with, and once it was printed, I kind of liked the idea of it, but I never really thought it would be all that relevant. But here I am trying out Lost Legacy. So it's choose non-artifact, non-land card. Search the target player's graveyard, hand, and library for any numbers and exile them. Then that player shuffles his or her library that way and draws a card for each card exiled from the hand that way. So this card's great against like Storm, where they only have like a Tendrils main deck, maybe an empty. It's a great way against Storm to like take their 1 win condition and they can't kill you. It's great against like Sneak and Show. So like Show and Tell's a little slow against us. So like if we can just name like Sneak Attack main board, then Sneak Attack's not an issue. Because like a lot of times Show and Tell we can answer that effect. Omniscience is a little bit of a hindrance as far as that goes. Because obviously Show and Tell, Omniscience, Emrakul, they cast it, they get the extra turn. We don't really have time to react to it. So Lost Legacy is actually really good for that. Nether Spirit, as we talked about already, it's in here because it's it's always returns from the graveyard to the battlefield to give us some value with our Smallpox, our Liliana the Veil, etc. And it's a great chump blocker as a result of the fact it comes back every turn. And then later in the game, it's a 2/2 that can just start nugging your opponent. Then we have Big Pox. I went away from this card for a long time, but I'm back because we need as much card advantage as possible. We need a way to chunk our life total of our opponents. So it's each player loses a third of his or her life, discards a third of his or her cards, sacrifice a third of his or her creatures, and then sacrifice a third of his or her lands, and you round up each time. So from 20 points of life, you round up, so it ends up being, instead of like 6, which would be 18 for thirds, you end up rounding up to 7 because they still have over 18. So there's a lot of calculations with it's like, if your opponent's on like 3 lands, you're only going to hit 1 land, but if your opponent's on 4 lands, you hit 2. So it's a great way to just suddenly be like, okay, you are getting out of control, let's stabilize this board, let's even everything out. So it's a great way to kind of, really gain traction in a deck, against a deck. And then like each player moves a third of his or her life rounded down, or rounded up. It's a great way to kind of like jumpstart your clock to be like, okay, my Curse Scroll is now like a 6-turn clock or a 5-turn clock or whatever, rather than like, my Curse Scroll is a 12-turn clock or a 10-turn clock or whatever, depending on how much life, if they've gained anything and whatnot. Crucible Worlds is in here just for extra value. Every land we top deck, we don't mind discarding to our Liliana the Veil. Every land we top deck or destroy with our Smallpox or Pox, we can get back from our graveyard. Then again, greedy mana bases, Crucible Worlds can become a waste lock. I actually have a 1 of Cobble Pit right now. So it's tap out of black 2 mana pool, and then it deals 1 damage to you with Threshold, so 7 more cards in your graveyard. Black tap sack. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. So that's actually really good against Death and Taxes if we can activate it, if we get Threshold. It's colorless source, so it can't be protected by Mother Runes. It answers a Mirror Crusader because it's not a black source. So it answers a Mirror Crusader, can kill a Thalia, can kill a Mother of Runes, can kill a Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, it can nerf a Batterskull, Germ Token, so our Nether Spirit can chump it, or a Cursed Scroll can kill it. A little bit more corner case scenario, but it has some decent play to it. So we're definitely looking to have some good fun with that. I'm actually running a pair of Ensnaring Bridges in the main board right now. I think it's going to be really important. It's a little weak with a lot of check pile just because Kolaghan's command's so prevalent. Artifacts are a little bit of an awkward thing, but I think the Ensnaring Bridges are going to be necessary, and because we can restrict our opponent's resources and restrict the amount of cards they're allowed to keep in hand, or able to keep in hand, I should say, there's a good chance our Ensnaring Bridge can just get on the board and stick regardless. If they throw a couple early creatures down, then we just kind of lock them out of like keeping cards in hand and lock them off some mana. Ensnaring Bridge can be a great way to kind of leverage that and make sure we just don't just die. It's also great against Sneak and Show. Main board, they don't really have an answer for it or a way to stop that. So Ensnaring Bridge is a good way to get a little assurance against Sneak and Show. Mirage Mirror, again, I wanted to try this out. It's actually a couple of reasons I want to try this out. One, it can be kind of a jack of all trades. It can become a Mishra's Factory and then like attack and pump and whatnot, so we can get a pair of Mishra's Factories on board. It's a little more expensive, obviously. Again, against Show and Tell, it can become an Emrakul if they Show and Tell into play. So like I'll present a Mirage Mirror, they'll present an Emrakul. I'll make 2 mana, make my Mirage Mirror Emrakul, and attack them. My Emrakul attacks first, so they lose everything on board. So it might be a little sketchy, but I think it's going to be correct. I think this card's going to be pretty insane. Also, like, it can just like become another Wasteland if we have a Wasteland in play and need to double Wasteland. There's like weird little interactions it can do. If we have a bunch of colorless sources, it can copy a Swamp or something, so we can get another black mana if we have to cast some of our double black spells. So I'm kind of interested in testing it. I think it'll go okay. We'll see what happens. I'm thinking with all the artifacts, I might want to add a Buried Ruin to the deck, but we'll cross that bridge by the end of the league when we get a better idea of how the deck runs. Lily of the Dark Realms is one of the new things I'm definitely trying to test. Now that you can have multiple Lilianas on board, I kind of went a little bit overboard, I think, with them, but I think it'll work out okay. So +1 is search your library for a Swamp card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. It's a great way if we start drawing like some non-land, non-creature spells we want to cast. Like if we have like Smallpox in hand, but there's not really any value to be had, rather than just discard it to Liliana the Veil, if we get a Liliana the Dark Realms, we can search up a Swamp, discard that, and later on those can be rebought with Crucible. So it's a way to like ensure we're drawing less land. It's a way to ensure that we have other fodder discard to like Smallpox, Liliana the Veil. It also just ensures we make our land drops, which is really ideal. And then our -3 can be like removal for big creatures. Like her -3 could like kill a Gurmag Angler fairly easily. Especially with like Orborg, we can ensure we have a bunch of swamps in play. Her -6, not really relevant in this deck. I am considering making some type of add-in to the deck, like a Consume Spirit or like a Drain Life, to make a little more with that, but I don't know if that's really necessary or good. Maybe a 1-up Consume Spirit I might test soon and see, like, whenever I see it, maybe I'm happy, maybe I'm not. So her ultimate's not really necessary. You probably just keep ticking her up. Your opponent plays a creature, you -3, kill it, and then just keep ticking up again. So I think it's going to be good overall, but I'm not 100% sold that this is correct. Should just be a 1-of, and maybe like a Liliana Vest to go tutor up like a Crucible or something. That could actually be correct, and Liliana Vest would actually be pretty sweet too. So I'm kind of thinking that. This is a little bit of tech that I've been running for a long time. Again, this is another submission to how great Reed Duke is and how smart he is as far as Magic deck building is concerned and whatnot. Knight of Soul's Betrayal is a legendary enchantment. All creatures get -1/-1. This is something Reed Duke did a few years ago. I think like SOG Providence he ran it. And one of his reasons for wanting to run an effect like this was this card, if on an empty board, means your opponent's top decking things like Delver of Spirits, Young Pyromancer, Snapcaster Mage. Suddenly these are, like, Snapcaster Mage not so much, but like Young Pyromancer, Delver of Secrets, True Name Nemesis, they all become basically dead draws because you can't just cast one of those into this and then rely on it as a clock because it just dies. So it essentially gives your opponent a bunch of dead draws, which has actually been truthful and relevant. I found that type of way to look at it is actually correct. A lot of times I have Knight of Soul's Betrayal on board. I find I can't lose against like these Delver variants and whatnot. So that's been a great card, and I kept to it. And then another thing I'm trying out, which is another reason I think I should try Buried Ruin in the deck, is Smokestack. So we got 2 of those in here. It's a 4-mana artifact. If you're upkeep, you put a soot counter on it. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a permanent for each soot counter on it. So again, like, this build's probably a little light. It probably could use a couple more Crucibles, quite frankly, to ensure that, we can keep replaying lands through a Smokestack. But we have enough permanents. I think it'll be okay. And there's also tricks you can do with smokestacks. So it's like at the beginning of upkeep, you stack your triggers, so you sacrifice, then add soot counters. So you are able to, on your first upkeep of adding a soot counter, you go to sack a permanent, there's 0 soot counters, you don't sack anything, then you add a soot counter. On your opponent's turn, they have to sack a permanent. And then on your turn again, you can do the same thing again, or just keep it and just sack one thing. Since we have Nether Spirit in the deck, Nether Spirit is a way we can just keep sacrificing something to smokestacks to kind of keep it on board. So there's a lot of different interactions in the deck with Smokestack. Again, it's an artifact, so meta semi-heavy of like Kolaghan's Command, things of that nature. Smokestack might not be correct, or it might just need like a Buried Ruin if we can actually drag out games. And then like Crucible and Worlds in play with like another Spirit or whatever, we can take a Smokestack up to 2, meaning our opponent will never have more than 2 permanents in play at once, which is great. It means that, basically any other deck is locked out. So yeah, so we're going to try that for our main board. Again, there's probably going to be some things that we might want to change by the end of the stream, but we don't know until we get there. So let's finish up this real quick and get into this league. So in the sideboard, I've got a Surgical Extraction and Double Extirpate. I really like Extirpate for Graveyard Hate, mostly just because it can't be responded to. So like against like Menos Dredge or Dredge, they can't just randomly like Street Wraith in response to like Cycle and get their Dredgers back from it. So Extirpate's a good way to do that. Surgical is kind of like our free turn 0 spell if we need it. I usually would just run like 3 Extirpates, but the Surgical is fine to have that like 0 mana answer. The double Pithing Needle. So Pithing Needle is here to catch like stuff like Jace the Mind Sculptor, which is hard for us to answer. Hit like things like Sneak Attack, which is hard for us to like, kind of work around. Shut down a Gristlebrand. There's a lot of different like interactions that Pithing Needle works. I mean, Pithing Needle is like probably one of the best sideboard cards in Legacy for a very good reason. There's a lot of activated abilities in Legacy, and it shuts down a lot as a result. I've got a 3rd Ensnaring Bridge in the board. Again, that's probably mostly for Sneak Attack. I did play against like Slivers when I was testing this online the other night, and it was kind of relevant there. The only problem with Slivers is, they can flash in with Aether Vial to get like some instant speed pumps on their creatures. And then they have like stuff like Harmonic Sliver that can just blow it up, which is kind of a problem, but at least it buys us some turns mostly. Single Toxic Deluge. I want to have some amount of Sweepers in the deck. Sweepers are they're often really good as like oh crap, I've got to reset this board, I got to get these creatures off the board. Good way to just kind of wipe it. So that's what Toxic Deluge is here. It's 3 mana, so it gets around a Teague. It can kill anything. I mean, obviously it's not particularly going to kill a Merit Lage, but if we're staring down a Merit Lage, we're probably just dead anyway. So yeah, that'd be a little awkward, but hopefully we won't get to that point. Like Ensnaring Bridge should be enough for that, I'm hoping, along with all our sacrifice effects. We've got the 3 Engineered Plagues. Engineered Plagues is something I can never bring myself to not put in Pox, regardless of how few tribal decks I've been running into. If I run into Elves, it's always great against Elves. It's fine against Merfolk. It's fine against Goblins. It's really good against Death and Taxes, actually. Humans are a very common creature type, and like Thalia, Mother of Runes, they're both X1 creatures, so Engineered Plagues on a single Engineered Plague will kill either one. So Engineered Plague I usually bring in for that matchup as well. If it turns out that I'm not seeing enough tribal, and I want something that is for Death and Taxes of this effect, I would obviously switch to a Dread of Night, because 1 mana and 3 mana are very different numbers when it comes to tax effects like that Death and Taxes runs. Like they have Thalia, Rishon Import, Wasteland them of their own, in case I'm on like non-basics. Then we have a pair of Nether Void. Usually I only run 1 Nether Void. I'm thinking 2 is probably correct. It seems like there tends to be a lot of there's a decent amount of Storm coming up and whatnot. It's also great against Burn. I just hate losing the Burn matchup. I don't know if any of you are familiar with my column and whatnot, but I wrote one very salty article about Burn decks. So yeah, I'm not a fan of losing to Burn. Nether Void helps a lot with not losing to Burn. So Nether Void is a world enchantment. World enchantments aren't like legendaries. When world enchantments come in, the newest one will always replace the oldest one, even if your opponent controls it. Not that that's really relevant. But Nether Void is 3 and a black, and so whenever a player casts a spell, counter it unless the player pays 3 mana. So it basically mana leaks everything. Obviously, it can't hit things like Abrupt Decay or a creature off of Cavern of Souls or whatnot, but it's always going to do that. Delve can't get around it because it's a triggered ability. It's not part of like an additional cost, like with Athalia, things of that nature. So I think Nether Void's going to be good in pairs. I also have a pair of the Abyss. I'm very big on my Legends cards. I love the Abyss, love Nether Void, love Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale, Chainsbuff Stoffleys. They're all amazing cards. The Abyss, again, another card advantage type card. It's 3 and a black, roll enchantment. The only reason I brought up the roll enchantment thing earlier is because we also have the Abyss. So it is relevant. You can't have both these in play at once. You can only have either the Abyss or Nether Void, so you got to pick and choose carefully. Usually they're not really much overlap for the matchups you want them, so it's not really a big deal. But at the beginning of each player's upkeep, destroy target non-artifact creature that player controls of his or her choice. It can't be regenerated. So my upkeep, I would choose a non-artifact creature I control. On their upkeep, they choose a non-artifact creature they control. Naturally, this doesn't get around things like the True Name Protection, Sigarda, like Hexproof, like Sigarda, and whatnot, because even though the opponent is choosing the creature that it's going to target, it's still a source I control that's targeting. So it doesn't work that way. And then we have a second Night of Soul's Betrayal, because again, this card is it's been a real all-star, honestly. I don't know if I want multiples main board, just because being a legendary enchantment, it's a little awkward. But I definitely wanted multiples in the 75, so I've been playing a second one in the sideboard in most every pocket variant I've been running recently. So that's the deck. If anyone's got any questions throughout the night, obviously I'll be happy to answer you. We're going to get this league going, because me talking is not fun for you, and it's not fun for me. So we're going to get into it. So we got this going right here. And I noticed actually throughout the last week I've gained 22 or 23 followers. I appreciate everyone that decided to follow me. I like that you're taking your faith that I can give you some very entertaining, a very entertaining stream, especially when it's Crazy Brews and Legacy. I don't like to just stick to net decks. I like to play around. I like to do different things. So I was definitely happy when we finally found out that Hipsters of the Coast, which I write for, they've had faith in me. They keep me on. God knows why. And then we got to we're partnering with Card Hoarder, so we have access to all these. Fun cards regularly. This hand's really awkward. Being on the draw, it's kind of tempting to keep because we are running a lot of lands, but we have a couple turn 1 plays. I am tempted to keep it, but let me think. We got some high power here and nice Soul's Betrayal, some Smallpox. The single black source is making me not want to keep this. But if we did have a second black source, I'd be more inclined to keep. So we're going to mulligan this. It's not great to mulligan in a deck like this, but yeah, see, this is what I was worried about. So no lands here. We have to mulligan again, unfortunately. This hand would be gas if we can keep it. This hand's not great, but we're going to have a Scry. We have Dark Ritual to power out something early. And Lost Legacy if we find we're against some type of combo, and Staring Bridge if we're against something aggressive. So, and Dark Ritual to power into this. So we're going to keep this. That's going to be on the bottom because we are not casting that for a million years now. I do have it in with Hipsters Management, Kate. It's you. You're my wife. So it's an easy in right there. Play smart, don't rush. I'll consider it. Probably going to rush a little bit because the Pox can't really be played very slowly without going to time. Now, Magic Online, you actually lose if you go to time. Opponents playing Scalding Tarn and passing. Initial thoughts would be something combo like Storm or Sneak and Show. Alright, we got a second land, so we're looking much better already. I don't know which combo deck it might be, and it could be some type of Miracles or whatnot, and they're waiting until our end step to brainstorm, hoping that hoping they can trick us, but yeah, we're gonna just wait. We got a decent hand. If it is show and tell, we just put it in the Staring Bridge, and they can't win. Alright, Underground Sea, so we're looking probably closer to check pile here. The fact they never turn 1 plays a little odd. It could also still be Storm, because again, Storm does they can be explosive, so they don't particularly have to make a play. Hymn to Torok, so it's definitely likely check pile. We unfortunately have to let that resolve, and they hit Smallpox and Ensnaring Bridge, so that's unfortunate. Family of name droppers. Yeah, we are a family of name droppers. That is very accurate. Trying to think if I know who you are. Alright, so we got Hymned off double Underground Sea. Again, I think this is check pile. If we see a Volcanic Island get played here, that's likely the case. But we'll see what happens. Alright, basic swamp. No idea what's going on now. Could just be like a blue-black control deck. Could be like Hex Steps. Hex Steps without a green source just seems incorrect, though. Jeez. Double him to Torok. Oh my lord. Get torn apart. Alright. What's going on? Oh no, I passed through my turn. I couldn't cast anything anyway, so it's irrelevant. Alright, let's go. Snap him to Torok, because that's how their hand's going so far. Here's a Jace. So I think we probably just lose here. Yeah, I've had enough of this game. We're going to go to game 2. We are not going to beat them with this board state. The double him absolutely tore our hand apart. That was brutal. So I'm going to bring in a Toxic Deluge, a couple Pithing Needles. I'm not huge on Nether Void here, but might be fine. I'm going to consider it if we have enough to pull out. So again, this is check pile. We can't particularly rely on artifacts 100%. Like, we have to board in Pithing Needle, I think, just because we don't have much of an answer at Jace, unless we can get a Smokestacks in play. Nidal Soul's Betrayal, not great here. It doesn't particularly nerf any of their creatures or kill them. Like, it nerfs their creatures a little bit, but doesn't kill them. Like, Deathrate's still going to drain us for 2. Like, Leovold's still a 2/2. Like, Snapcaster Mage is just another spell, so that's not really relevant. I think I don't like the Mirage Mirrors, although Mirage Mirror would have that weird circumstance where if they have a Leovold in play, they try to Brainstorm or something. I think that's too cute, though. I think we have to drop the Mirage Mirrors, honestly. Let's see. What else do we do? Tabernacle's going to tax them a decent amount. Their spell suite is actually fairly high, so I think that Tabernacle's going to stay in. I don't think there's anything else we trim. I think this is going to be fine. I wouldn't mind a pair of Nether Voids, but I don't think there's anything here to really take out for them. So we're going to keep this. We could, I guess, board out the Dark Rituals. But I think the explosiveness, when they're also running him to Torok, we've got to do that, so we're going to do that. So Kate ever find her playmat? No, unfortunately Kate did not find her playmat. It's very terrible. So yeah, Kate, when she was at Eternal Weekend this weekend, had her playmat in her backpack, and it was sticking out just barely. Someone must have just kind of reached down and kind of tucked it a little bit, tucked on it, so... Alright, so we know we're going to probably check pile. We've got, like, Orborg with Dark Ritual, Crucible, Wasteland, a couple Pithing Needles, and Inquisition of Kozilek. I think that this is I think this is a decent keep, because Wastelock is really relevant here. We're going to probably lead on Inquisition to kind of get, like, an idea of what their hand looks like. So we're just going to keep this. My chat is actually specifically selected to be mature audiences only, so swearing isn't particularly terrible, but I would like you to keep it semi-family friendly in case there are children watching. They had Snapcaster and Mage and Surgical. I'm going to try to Crucible Wastelock them. They're not going to get to Snapcaster Mage mana, hopefully. And then we have, like, Pithing Needle shut down Fluid Delta if they're not careful, so we're going to try it. Hopefully it works out. Pair of Baleful Strix. That's lovely. Alright, so we let on Swamp Island, so that's pretty good. We're going to be able to Pithing Needle there. Fluid Delta here. They didn't cast Ponder. They have effects on our upkeep. I wonder if they actually have another Surgical, or if they're just really slow. Could be either. Could be a boat. So we're going to Dark Ritual here, play Crucible, and then just Pithing Needle on their Fluid Delta. Yeah, Kate, you're a mod. Okay. Let's hope they just top deck a bunch of Fluid Deltas. That would be amazing. We're just going to drop this Crucible here. We do have Orborg, so they will actually have access to mana off this Polluted Delta. So that's a little unfortunate. I'm realizing it. They drew a Brainstorm. Hopefully they don't realize the Orborg Fluid Delta combination. Alright. So we have our Orborg. We cannot do anything else. We're just going to pass here. Let's see what they play. See if they drew another land. Hoping that they didn't. Yeah, they drew a Scalding Tarn. So chances are this Fluid Delta is going to be gone. I don't know what else they... So they would have put back 2 cards. So Fluid Delta is probably the only card that's gone, so we probably still know at least these cards in their hand. Let's see what they go fetch out with this. Okay, they played a Baleful Strix off on a second island. So we're not going to be able to just Wastelock them here. Especially with that extra Surgical in their hand. So, yeah. Alright, we're going to just play a second Pithing Needle here. We're going to name Jace the Mind Sculptor. I just want to get that out of the way now. Okay. And then we've already played lands, so we're just going to keep this Wasteland in hand. Yeah, it's Blue Delta. Liliana Last Hope. Oh, that's wonderful. That is not good for us. We've already used both our Pithing Needles. So I need to draw a Curse Scroll here to erase that. That's not really a great. That's not really a great feeling. Yeah, so we got a Dark Ritual. That's not sweet, but let's see here. Yeah, we're in trouble. We need like a Mistress Factory, couple Mistress Factories. We need to answer that Baleful Strix. Yeah, you have Deathrite Shaman. Yeah. Looks like we're just going to get a real bad beating here. So I want to catch them when they can't cast Snapcaster Mage to flashback Surgical. So I want to be able to like Wasteland them, replay Wasteland. Are they trying to activate their Fluid Delta? Is that what's going on here? Yeah, I'm hoping next year for Eternal Weekend that I can go. It'd be great. I feel like I missed out not being able to see Erin Campbell again. I got to meet her over in Vegas, and Erin is just an absolute delight. So, hopefully again soon. We shall see. Here's another Baleful Strix. Okay, that's going to resolve. So now I need multiple creatures to get through this. Kind of wish I still had Night of Souls Betrayal because I forgot about Baleful Strix out of this deck. Yep, Liliana's up to 5. Need to draw something relevant. Yeah, no. You have an attack and I can't block. Smallpox, not a terrible start to get something going. It does enable me to... nope, crap. I didn't hold priority. I was planning on holding priority there, so I could Wasteland their Fluid Delta before this resolves, so they have to sack an island. I missed that button. I have to figure out what that is for me. Control, yeah. So I hit Shift instead of Control, I think. I'm going to sacrifice this Orborg so that Fluid Delta won't be able to tap for mana in general. In case they do keep it. I mean, the Wasteland's going to make that irrelevant anyways, but this also keeps their islands off making black mana, which seems fine. So yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are saying they didn't play against any check pile at all, and then some people are saying they, like, Kate played it like 3 times. And Kolaghan's Command's really good when you're on, like, you know, X2 creatures and, you know, you're on X2 creatures and artifacts. It tends to be a little bit of a blowout there. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, Deathrite's gonna eat my land. They got a Bloodstained Mire so they can, you know, get more mana. Yeah, I think we're just flat out dead here. I know what Snapcaster Mage is gonna target. Brainstorm makes sense. Checks out. So we don't know any of the contents of their hand anymore. I think they're trying to get a perfect Brainstorm, so I'm gonna try and ruin that for them. Sacrifice hitting their Bloodstained Mire. They've already tapped their Deathrite Shaman, so we'll replay our Wasteland, hit whatever land they get. If we get our Tabernacle, we can hopefully get close to clearing out their board. If we don't get a Tabernacle, we need like a creature like now, though. This has been brutal. Yeah, another Deathrite. They're very creature heavy on this draw. Yeah, that hand was not great keep in retrospect at this point. And I was not thinking that they were going to be a little stuck on land, so yeah, we're top decking swamped here. I'm just going to concede this game. We've definitely lost. I would love to keep playing so you people have more entertainment there, but watching me get beat on I don't think is entertaining for myself or any of you, so we're not going to do that. Hey, what's up, Aaron? Turn 1 Thoughtseize. Thank you for helping me set up my my MTG bot thing. So that works now, which is awesome. And if you do that, that'll show you the deck. That'll give you a link to the deck list if you need to look at anything in the process. So yeah, Aaron from Turn 1 Thoughtseize helped me out a lot. He and I got my MTG bot set up for the stream, so it's very good. Alright, looking for our second round opponent. Hopefully they appear soon, so we don't have any of this downtime where I have to struggle to find things to talk about. I guess I could talk about other things for stream. So right now for stream on Thursday, I have planned actually we're gonna switch up. We're gonna shift gears a little bit. We're gonna go modern. So one of my very early articles was green-black Planeswalkers, Super Friends. That was a modern brew, and we have that scheduled for Thursday. I've obviously made some updates because, you know, you don't just want to run cards that are 5 years old. You also probably want some newer cards. So I believe, if I remember correctly, I've added some Fatal Push to the deck. Liliana Last Hope, I believe I got added. Excuse me. New Vraska I'm going to try as a one-of, and then I'm going to try Vraska's Contempt just because instant speed, exiling a creature or planeswalker could be very relevant, especially if we want to beat something like a Gideon or something like that. So we're going to try that out Thursday. It should be interesting. We're going to keep with this. So we actually won a die roll. We're going to be on the play. Boy. Our hands have been really bad. No black sources. Can't keep that. This is 3 lands. Early interaction, kind of. I think we have to keep this. Not thrilled about it without like a turn 1 play, without like a Innocent Blood or Inquisition of Kozilek, but I'm gonna try it out. We have a Dark Ritual on top. We're gonna keep that on top because I am interested in. I guess that'd be a turn 2 Liliana, but I'm interested in that, so that works for me. Okay, so we're gonna lead on a swamp and just say go. Let's see here. So we're not going to have any responses for what my opponent does, so we're just going to F6 through their turn. Hopefully it's not just turn 1 combo that just kills us. Oh, hey, Mountain. You know what that probably means, folks, right? We're looking for some burn. Not a fast burn player either, clearly. Alright, which dork do you want to play turn 1? Do you want to play the Goblin Guide, or do you want to play the Swiftspear? Come on, it can't be that difficult. Maybe it is, I don't know. Oh, no. Yeah, that's the deck. So that Dark Ritual we just topped is absolutely irrelevant. So yeah, here we're just going to play this Mistress Factory. Say go. Next turn we'll play... Depending on what they do, we'll probably play Liliana Veil. If they don't do anything, we might just Lost Legacy for Chandra. Torture Defiance. Here is the deck list posted in chat for the deck that I will be running on Thursday. Yeah, no problem. Legacy Boggles, when I was watching April post some screenshots and whatnot, the deck seemed really impressive. And apparently she was doing pretty well with it, so it worked out. Yeah, Magus of the Moon is fine. I'm not particularly scared of that card. Okay. Yeah, we're going to do... Well, they got 1 card in hand. I think we're just going to Lost Legacy for Chandra here. It's pretty much the only card that kills us that we can't really do much about. Everything else we can answer with fair ease. I'm not like fond of them like the idea of them having blood moons, but right now they just have a Magus, and I'm not particularly concerned with that. Chandra Torture Defiance is something we can't pressure very well. So yeah, so there's 4 in the library. They will not be drawing a card. Their hand has Trinisphere, which is absolutely irrelevant. So we're not worried about that at all. We'll note that they have a Trinisphere in hand. We can't do anything else because we don't have any more mana available. We're going to keep our graveyard up so we can keep track of that. Let's see what we got here. We'll see if they cast that Trinisphere. Rabble Master, that is a problem. We will definitely need to find a Knight of Souls Betrayal in order to beat that card. So we're going to hope for the best. Yeah, I need land and Knight of Souls Betrayal if that's going to be out. Tabernacle at the moment is dead. Does tap for mana, so that's, neato burrito. Kind of want to... I'm going to cast this Liliana and just make them sacrifice. They're probably going to sacrifice. I just make them discard. I'm going to tick this up. I'm going to try and give them a target that isn't... So Dark Ritual's dead, so that can go away. I'm going to try and give them something to attack that is not me, just to buy like an extra turn or two. I don't know if it's going to be super relevant, but we're going to try it and hope for the best. Again, we do need to top deck like Ensnaring Bridge. We need to top deck a... if we top deck Ensnaring Bridge or Knight of Souls Betrayal, we're fairly good. Our Liliana is probably just going to eat it to this Goblin Realm Master right now. I have to assume these 3 will come at me and this will just come at Liliana. If they're worried about some type of weird trick, they might send these 3 at Liliana, or even like 2 of these at Liliana. But I'm fairly certain it's going to be 1 at Liliana and the rest at me. Goblin Token and Magus Lumen, so they're not killing Liliana, they're just trying to keep me off the sacrifice, I guess. I don't know if that's correct of them. If I was them, I'd probably want to kill Liliana, but oh well. So we got the swamp, so we're getting really close to being able to... What did they play last turn? They discard Transfer, so we don't know what they played. We're just going to cast Smallpox here. This Tabernacle is absolutely irrelevant at the moment. Could just probably stack a Swamp, though, just to keep the Tabernacle in case we answer the Magus of the Moon, because then that starts taxing their mana. I don't think that's correct, though. I think that's just bad. I think we want to get rid of the Tabernacle. I'm not huge on Bantu's Last Reckoning. They discard Chalice, so that's cool. I'm not huge on Bantu's Last Reckoning, honestly. Yeah, so I don't even think Knight of Souls Betrayal. I think we definitely need like a Ensnaring Bridge here. Snaring Bridge would definitely lock them out. So these 2 probably come at Liliana or just this, and the rest comes at me. So we're taking 6 this turn. We might end up taking 8 if they just want to get greedy and attack us. Kind of hoping that's what they do. But I don't think they're going to do that. Let's see. Anything attacking Liliana? Yeah, Liliana just died horribly. And that's a swamp, so that's not a good top deck. Alrighty. So here, the Abyss is not great, but it does keep them off creatures for turns. An extra Ensnaring Bridge is fine. Talk Deluge is fine. Knight of Souls Betrayal I'm fine with, because nerfing all their tokens, my sac effects can actually get through their one-ofs. And here I definitely want more higher cost, like, relevant cards. We're on the play, so we're going to keep Dark Ritual for right now, but we are going to get rid of stuff like Innocent Blood. We're going to get rid of stuff like... we're going to keep the Mirage Mirror. Crucible Rolls is not going to be relevant here whatsoever. I'm a little apt to get rid of Pox just because triple black may be a real difficult thing to do. Since we're on the play, we still want these 1-drops and whatnot. Because like an early Inquisition can take a Chalice, can take a, turn 1 Blood Moon, stuff like that. Dark Ritual can power us out into like a quick Liliana the Veil, quick Liliana Last Hope, whatever. Quick Ensnaring Bridge. Let's see. So I think that... Do I want to just do this? I think this seems fine. I am going to cut that Pox, though. I don't think keeping Pox is correct here. Yes, I would love to play first. Thank you for asking. If we had a black source, this hand would be pretty good. We don't have a black source, though, so we're going to have to mulligan, especially since we have 2 non-basics. Turn 1 Inquisition could be okay. We do have a black source. We're going to need more. Double Liliana is really awkward. They kept their 7. I don't think we can really keep mulling, so we're going to have to keep this. Smokestack going on bottom. 4 mana card, don't need it. So let's just try and keep them hopefully off in either an early Blood Moon or a Chalice for one. So they have the Chalice one, they have the Chandra. So we're gonna take the Chalice here. They have plenty of mana, so I don't think we're gonna take the Chrome Mox. They have a turn 2 Chandra potentially. That could be a problem. If they turn 2 Chandra though, we have Mistress Factory. We just put that in play and hopefully you can punch Chandra a little bit. I don't know if it's gonna be good enough or fast enough is the only problem. Please tell me they just passed through their turn. No, they didn't, unfortunately. So they did nothing. Let's keep this up so we remember what's in their hand. Just play Mistress Factory here. We know they played Mountain. So they have 6 cards in hand. There's 1 unknown. Yeah, so Ensnaring Bridge isn't going to be great as long as they have Chandra. And they drew another Chalice. That's not delightful, but that's fine with what we have in hand. Highly doubt they play the Chrome Mox here. Okay. Another Swamp. That's a good start. So we are getting close to getting Lily out of the Dark Realms down, and Lily out of Dark Realms can actually help our Mistress Factory get big enough to just one-hit KO a Chandra. So that's actually not bad. I probably should have just gotten some quick damage in with Mistress Factory there. I was kind of just thinking ahead about the fact that they're clearly going to play that Chandra. Let's see. So they can cast either Chrome Mox Imprint. I assume they cast Chrome Mox Imprint, Simian Spirit Guide. They might keep the Spirit Guide just as like a quick exile for some mana. Yeah, Chrome Mox is fine. Okay. What are they imprinting? They imprinted the Simian Spirit Guide, yeah. So here's Chandra. So we're down to 2 cards in hands that we don't know. So we're going to hit OK. That's going to tech up. Probably nug us, right? Yeah. We're going to take 2 most likely as a Sage Trader, so we're definitely taking 2. Alright. So we have an Ice Soul's Betrayal, which would be great if they end up going on Rabble Master Plan. Here we're just going to get Lily out of Dark Realms, start digging some swamps out of our deck. Make sure that we have the ability to just cast all of our, all of our black spells. It'll also help us start discarding cards to Lily out of the Veil if we get that in play. Again, we have to answer the Chandra, otherwise this is fairly irrelevant. We're going to probably have to... we won't even be able to activate that, will we? Starts at 3, it's at 4 loyalty now. Yeah, if they redirect at this Liliana, we're not going to be able to do that. We're going to have to get to a point where we have enough land in play where we can, play Liliana and hit a Mistress Factory with it. Hoping they don't redirect and they don't realize that the minus ability is actually going to be relevant on this board. We're just going to be able to put their Chandra to 1 is the only problem. Yeah, they redirected, so yeah, I think next turn we're just gonna... Oh, that's so rude. They're gonna still have another Lily on the Dark Realms in hand. They might still name the Mistress Factory because the only thing that actually presents a clock to that Chandra, but that's so rude. They're gonna see this is my only answer to Chandra right now, and they're gonna name that, or they're gonna name Lily on the Dark Realms just because we have a second one. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, Dark Realms got named. I kind of figured that was going to be the case. That's super unfortunate. We're a black deck. We don't really have answers to to artifacts. So I'm gonna need another Mistress Factory to start 3 in this a turn. So we're gonna go to combat and attack with this Mistress Factory. Attack this Chandra because we do not want that to ult. Yeah, that's savage. I can't keep digging swamps out, so our draws are going to fairly potentially be just swamp after swamp after swamp, which I'm hoping doesn't happen. I'm kind of tempted to put this Abyss on board shortly. If we draw another land here, yeah, here we're going to Toxic Deluge, get rid of that, and then hit Chandra in the face. If we get another land, I'm going to probably play the Abyss after that. And I could just do Smallpox here. What does Smallpox do for me? Nothing, really. It just knocks me back a land, basically. I'll just float that. I'm going to Smallpox here. I'm going to discard the extra Liliana that the can't do anything right now because she is not there. This Wasteland can go away. And then we're going to use that mana to make this Assembly Worker. Punch Chandra. So attack. Attack Chandra. So we will eventually answer this Chandra. It's not pretty. It's not going to be easy, but we will eventually answer that. I would like to keep drawing some more lands so we can eventually just, so we can eventually get like the Abyss in play. Because our Mistress Factor will never get hit by it, even if it was a creature at all times. It's still an artifact. So that Simian Spirit Guide presents a blocker, which is obnoxious. Another Smallpox. I don't want to go back land, but I don't feel like I need to. Chandra's down to 4. I'm not going to die to that anytime soon, so I'm going to play the Abyss now, and then just say go. On their upkeep, they're going to lose Simian Spirit Guide. Put that trigger on the stack. I would love for you to destroy your Simian Spirit Guide. That'd be great. And then if they follow up with something like a Round Master, we just play Night Soul's Betrayal. Their creatures are locked out, and hopefully they don't just draw Blood Moon. At this point, though, if I were to find... Yeah, Magus of the Moon. That's fine. At this point, though, if I can find, like, Lost Legacy, I'm probably going to name Chandra, because I can beat this first one, but I cannot beat follow-up ones, I don't think. Or I can beat follow-up ones as well, but it's not pretty, so I'd rather not have to if I can help it. Trinisphere is not relevant. I have enough mana, my spells cost a lot, post-board. I'm just hoping that we don't continue finding, I hope we don't start finding 1-drops, because that would make me very sad. Yeah, so like a Mistress Factory, we can't just, like, we can Smallpox. I don't really want to restrict the amount of mana I have access to. I'm going to just put a nice Soul's Betrayal in play. It's going to slow down my Mistress Factory a little bit, but we can keep their Chandra at least in check. Chances are Chandra would end up just, dealing 2 to us every turn, and we'll eventually just die to that, but I don't really think this board is very good where we are now. This has been a train wreck already. I don't know what's happening to the meta, but I don't like it. I would love to find another Liliana. Fire Confluence is a huge problem. Luckily, it's just going to be, well, not luckily, but it's just going to be 6 to us, I assume. Hopefully, if they, like, screw something up, they target, like, their Sorcerer's Spyglass with, like, the artifact thing. 6 to us is very fast, though. I need another Mistress Factory to start really pressuring this Chandra. And it's possible this Night Soul's Betrayal should not be in play right now, just for the fact that I need to answer that card sooner rather than later. Okay, taking 2. Goblin Rattle Master. Again, that card's not relevant. This Goblin that's going to come into play is going to die, and then on their upkeep they're going to have to kill it with the Abyss. The only real reason I played out the Night Soul's Betrayal is I didn't want something like this to get a little bit out of control. Wasteland's okay here. Gonna go ahead and Smallpox here. I don't particularly want the Toxic Deluge, considering the fact our life total is getting a little low. And I want to answer this Round Master to get another point of damage on that Chandra. I would love to draw something more relevant, though. Like even another Spirit right now is okay. Liliana the Last Hope sounds great. Oh, that's right. There's a transfer in place. I had to pay 1 extra for that. Smallpox. That's why my mana wasn't floating. Okay. Yeah, another Mistress Factory allow us to just 2 the Chandra every turn. That'd be great. It's potentially relevant to add. Yeah, they're just gonna start. Yeah, it's gonna start getting me damage because I'm getting low. Oh, and they also drew a Goblin Rattle Master. That's nice. It's good for them. Yeah, I really need like Liliana the Last Hope and any hopes to keep from dying, and I keep drawing lands, so that's obviously not good enough to get there. And the Chandra has us dead in 3 turns. So I don't know what we could possibly top deck here that's going to help us. Talk about the beats. Liliana the Dark Realms was supposed to be able to help us kill the Chandra like turns ago. And they found a Fiery Confluence, which is enough to kill us, so that's enough of that. So yeah, we're having horrible luck in these leagues. I don't know if it's just this online meta is just odd, or if it's just maybe, I'm just playing really bad decks. I would say Pox is particularly a great deck, but so far it's been this has been really bad. This has been rough. That game 1 against Czech Pile was like double him and then like into Jace. Like I can just never beat that. Mulligan hasn't been great. Been finding a lot of like non-black sources and land light hands with like heavy mana cards. So I don't know. Could just be variance. Could just be a little luck of the draw. Maybe Maybe MTGO just hates me and wants me to quit MTGO. I honestly couldn't tell you. But yeah, it's been kind of brutal. I would love to play first. I'm gonna try this. So we have few mana sources. We have a couple Lilianas. We have the Mirage Mirror, the Smokestack. I'm tempted to keep this. We're probably going to be paired against combo right now because this is our opening hand, which is why we have no discard in hand, no early plays, no Dark Ritual. So this is probably combo up against, and we're just going to get like trashed on turn 1. We'll see what happens. Saya Traders into Chalice, probably, right? Yep. Okay. Luckily, this hand is not soft to Chalice, and if this is another Blood Moon deck, we do have double Swamp, so that's not too bad. Hopefully, it doesn't turn out to be really bad for us. Curse Scroll after the Chalice one, perfect top deck. Wouldn't ask for anything else. I want to Wasteland the Saya Traders, and I'm going to. I want to keep the land around, but I kind of don't want them to have that much mana. Could be incorrect, especially that since the fact they were on the draw. We'll see what happens. I have Ugin, so we're against Eldrazi, so we're going to hope to not just be dead. And another 1-drop off the top. It's that variance I was just talking about, where if we're against Kite combo, we'd never any interaction and whatnot. And then we have a Chalice run, so now we're drawing all our 1-drops. Here comes the Thought-Knot Seer, probably, which means we're going to lose our Liliana. The Veil, most likely. Can't picture that you get rid of Liliana Last Hope. We get to 3 mana, we still have Mirage Mirror. Mirage Mirror can become a Thought-Knot Seer, so we can block it and draw a card. Check out the graveyards. Wish opponents would play a little bit faster. I found a lot of times when opponents look at your hand, they take a really long time. I don't know if it's just players are trying to figure out what you're doing when they see weird things, because a lot of what I stream is on Brews, but like you have like a option to see what your revealed cards are and all that. You can take like a quick screenshot with screen capture. All right, we drew another land. That's not terrible. We're gonna get this Mirage Mirror in play at least. And then we'll be able to copy the Thought Knot and block to get rid of that. If they play like a Reality Smasher, we have 2 mana up. We can just copy and trade. I don't particularly want to just lose my Mirage Mirror, but it's obviously a lot better than getting hit for 4 every turn. Crucible Wasteland would be great right now. So if we could top deck like Crucible, I'm actually fine with that. Liliana Last Hope, not terrible here, I don't think. Again, would like another mana so we can get our other Liliana play. Wouldn't mind a Crucible, so we can get Crucible online. All those would be great top decks. They have a Wasteland that can't hit us, so that's not relevant. I think we're going to get Reality Smashed here, which is not great for us. I'm assuming Liliana Last Hope's going to eat it by the Reality Smasher. Let's see. Yeah, Reality Smasher is going to get rid of Liliana Last Hope, and Thought-Knot's just going to hit me for 2. So we saved a couple damage there. I think this Pox is actually horrible in our hand right now. I do not want to cast it at all. So I'm just going to pass turn. Mirage Mirror is going to trade with a Reality Smasher. This is just target spell component control, so we won't have to discard, which doesn't really particularly matter just because we have 1-drops we can just discard. And another Reality Smasher will pretty much just closes this game. Comes close. Okay. We have to make sure before it blocks we make a copy so we can block. Just gonna trade that. I don't like the fact I have to lose my Mirage Mirror here, but it's obviously a hell of a lot better than just, being dead. Still getting a little tight on lands. It is possible with the fact they've drawn more land that I should have kept that Wasteland. I don't think that's correct, though. If we Pox here, we lose 3 life, go to 6, and they can't particularly kill us. They probably sack Thought Knot, which means we can draw a card. They're only losing 1 land. We're losing 1 land. If we lose 1 land, I don't know if we can actually come back in this. We have to draw land, and then we're just dead. We can't cast anything, so we'd have to draw like Smallpox in order to answer their last creature in the land. I don't think that's going to win it, but I mean, I'm not just going to tap out because we don't particularly... I'm not just going to tap out because we don't particularly have like all the cards in hand we want. I'm gonna try and play a little longer, and hopefully maybe survive. The Thought-Knot's going to die, so we might be able to draw land, play land this turn, and we might be able to get there. We'll see what happens. Their hand was pretty good against us, though. Our hand was pretty slow. How's it going to Dawn? Thanks for joining the stream. Streaming something different, trying something different with Pox. Something I haven't really tried before. I'm trying a couple Liliana Dark Realms. They actually got rid of their Reality Smasher. I'm not 100%. I'm thinking they didn't want us to draw a card, probably. I was not anticipating that would actually happen, though. Do they really have another Reality Smasher? Life? What is life? What is life? This garbage deck. Oh, Jesus. Staring Bridge is real good against them. Toxic Deluge is a great, like, oh crap button. They play Cavern Souls, so I'm not inclined to bring a Nether Void. Piling Needle's probably horrible, just they have so many Chalice effects. They have Chalice and, like, Transfer and stuff like that, and Thorns, probably, so I don't think that's great. Night of Soul's Betrayal. Like, it stops Eldrazi Mimic, so I'm, like, almost tempted to keep it, but I don't think it's good enough. The Abyss is probably okay. It might just be a little too slow. We definitely want to trim one drops. Curse Scroll is pretty bad here because, you know, it's one drop, doesn't kill any creatures. So that ends up being, you know, a little awkward. Crucible is great here. Mirage Mirror, as we saw, was actually pretty good. No wins so far, unfortunately. We got paired against, like, Blood Moon Stompy, couldn't answer their Chandra, and they just kept they top decked, like, 2 Fiery Confluence with Chandra and just killed us. And then we got paired against Eldrazi just now. They started turn 1 Chalice at 1, then we started drawing 1 drops. And then they drew up enough mana to get Thought Knot Seer taking care of Lily on the Veil. And then we didn't draw any more land for like a few turns, for actually at all. And yeah, we ended up just losing because they flooded out and had 3 Reality Smashers in total. Mirage Mirror was able to copy Reality Smasher and block, so that was kind of neat. That was nice to see. On the play, I'm definitely going to keep my Dark Ritual so I can hopefully power out something relevant turn 1. Because like if we can just like, you know, turn 1 Lost Legacy for Reality Smasher, that's really the only card in their deck I think we really care about, just because of the haste. I like the Smokestacks overall. They might be a little too slow, but I'm going to keep them. Inquisition's not very relevant here. On the play, it can help us hit a Chalice. It might be something more relevant. I am tempted to bring in like stuff like Surgical Extirpate for like their temples and stuff. I don't think that's correct though. So we're not going to bring in any of that. We're just going to keep the Inquisitions. Smokestack's one of the few things we can actually like. Smokestack's one of the few things that, like, if we get ahead, we can actually just keep the board clear. So I'm inclined to keep Smokestack. I don't know if it's perfectly correct. This hand's very disruptive. We have no 1-drops. We have all the land we need, so we're going to try it. Hopefully our opponent just doesn't have, like, a turn 1, you know, like Thought Knot or something crazy like that. That would be really unfortunate. What do we got here? Opponent's deciding whether or not to mull. Did they mull? Please tell me they mulled. No, they did not. Okay, main phase, Swamp, go. Got that Swamp. Ancient Tomb, Chalice for 1. I'm assuming it might be a Thorn. Thorn would actually be much better against this hand, but it's not. So I'm going to Hymn to Torok them. Hope I can take a couple of relevant spells. And like clockwork, we now have a 1-drop that our opponent has a Chalice at 1. Exactly like clockwork every time. Hitting Matter Reshaper and Cavern Souls is very good. Matter Reshaper is something that, like, we can obviously kill it, but if we kill it, it just replaces itself with something else. It either draws them a card, gets them another land. So I'm actually pretty happy with the fact we hit that. And this one isn't great. They don't play a land. I'm probably just going to play Liliana, the Last Hope, and then play Smallpox. If we draw a land here, I'm probably just going to play the Smallpox, because I am very tempted to really punish them for this 1-land keep, or now 1-land keep since we hymned them. But Smallpox here discards a card from their hand, sacks this Ancient Tomb, loses this Endless one. I don't know. I have no idea why they have a stop in our upkeep. I can't even begin to imagine what they have a stop for. I'm definitely going to Smallpox here. Kind of want to sack the Mistress Factory just because it's more prone to Wasteland. We don't want to get blown out. So we're going to discard Innocent Blood, which is not relevant on this board state. We're going to discard the Mistress Factory. We want the double black. We don't mind. Like, if Cobblepit gets Wastelanded after we play Liliana Last Hope, we don't particularly mind. Hopefully with Liliana Last Hope and play for a few turns, we just have the ability to just lock them out, basically. Just get some zombies in play so we can close it out. Oh yeah, they didn't draw land. That's the good feels right there. Get wrecked, nerd. I could play the Mistress Factory to save myself this 1 point of damage. I'm not too worried about that. All said and done, I would rather have Mistress Factory and play if they have Wasteland. So they end up just scooping. On the draw, I still don't think I changed anything. As much as I don't like having all these 1-drops against the Chalice deck, They've had Chalice run both games. I'm hoping on turn one, I'm hoping they don't just do it again. We can get some value off these cards, but we'll see what happens. Ugh, that is a miserable hand. Yeah, let's just mulligan that away. Yeah, if they don't start Chalice for one here, I think we just probably just Dark Ritual Liliana. They kept 6 cards. There's a good chance they kept Chalice for one. So this might be a little bit of an awkward keep. We're going to keep it. Hopefully our Scry can reveal another Swamp or some type of black source. Why is this say I'm still deciding? I'm not deciding anymore. That was a very quick way to scoop. Mistress Factory, I'll keep it on top. It's still a mana source, and it could still be relevant. They're starting off with Cavern, so unless they're playing the Spirit Guides, they're obviously not going to be following up with a Chalice on turn one, so we are going to be able to get away with this Dark Ritual Liliana of the Veil plan. So we're just going to take up. They have 5 cards in here right now. I'm going to discard. I kind of want to discard a Mistress Factory. Yeah, I'm going to discard a Mistress Factory. I'm hoping for the black source next turn I can just like him them. Okay, I selected a card. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life, MTGO? I guess I gotta hit OK after selecting a card, because selecting is not a good enough. Like some things, like when you go to pass until response and then you miss a land drop, they let you do that, but they don't let you just like select a card to discard. It's kind of weird. And this one we can easily answer. We have our Liliana. If we draw a black source, I'm definitely gonna him, make them sacrifice. Yeah, look at that. Oh, sometimes life pays you back, you know? They discard Endbringer Stereo Trader, so they have 1 card in hand, and they discarded a 2 mana. They discarded a Soul Land, so I'm not seeing that we're going to get Reality Smashered here. Even Thought Knot's not going to be good enough. So, see what happens, but I'm really liking our chances. So they had a Mistress Factory, which I overlooked. So they were able to answer our Liliana. So Smallpox may have been correct there. Yeah, that's fine. That's not fine. I'm not happy about it, but it's fine. So we're going to play Mistress Factory here for a little bit of defense. I don't want to cast a Smallpox yet, but I will likely cast it if they just go with like creature here. Another Endless one. So yeah, we're probably going to just Smallpox here. Let's see what we draw though. The Abyss seems pretty good against this deck. I think I just have to cast the Abyss, right? I just need to have this card in play. It's immediately going to answer that in Sun, which is what I was trying to do. It's going to answer every other creature they put into play that can't just hastily kill me. So yeah, let's see how they like them apples. Hope they like Granny Smith, because that's Granny Smith apple. Yes! We have a win! We beat Eldrazi. Apparently the Abyss is really good against that deck. Yeah, so that worked out pretty well. You know, games 1 and 2 were a little sketchy because, you know, they played Chalice for 1, then we started drawing 1-drops, but, you know, game 3 that was actually pretty solid. I was very happy about that. The Abyss is at the beginning of each player's upkeep, destroy target non-artifact creature of that player's under that player's control of their choice, and can't be regenerated. I'll pull up the deck real quick and just kind of show you. So it's at the beginning of each player's upkeep, destroy target non-artifact creature that player controls of his or her choice. It can't be regenerated. So it's a good, like, every upkeep will just kill something. Oh, it's all good. Don't apologize. Like I said, any questions you have about cards, the deck, anything else, you know, I'm happy to help. You know, I'm happy to answer anything. Yeah, the Abyss is a very powerful card. I'm just kind of happy we punished Eldrazi. I don't like that deck. I don't respect that deck at all, which is probably why I lose to it on occasion. Yeah, I've been playing. I got the Abysses back when they were like $130. I got my first 3, and then I got a 4th not too long ago for like 200 or something like that. So I'm very happy with that. Okay, waiting for the opponent to join eventually, in theory. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's see what we got here. I lost a die roll, so we're back to our usual. So this is interesting. So if we're not against another Chalice deck, we can turn one a Liliana of the Dark Realms and immediately start taking her up. We are in the draw, so anything else we draw that's possibly a relevant quick early card we can take care of. If we end up drawing something like a Crucible Worlds, we can Dark Ritual Crucible and then Dark Ritual Liliana. I don't know if Crucible's like... maybe I want... I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. We have the explosive cards to make this hand decent. I think this might be a little bit sketchy now I'm thinking about it. This is a bad keep. He didn't keep one... Oh, I didn't watch the EU. I think you're talking about Eternal Weekend coverage finals. I didn't watch that, so I couldn't tell you. Alright, Elves is usually a very good matchup. With what we have in hand, this doesn't feel great if they have a main board Rex Sage. If they don't have a main board Rex Sage, we're looking very good right now. With this start, I don't think they just kill us turn one, so we're going to play this Curse Scroll. And then probably follow up, like, let me think. If we do double Dark Ritual, that's 5 mana plus another land, so that's 6. So I can't play both of these. But I can do, like, Liliana of the Dark Realms, kill that, or kill an elf, or a creature. I don't know. We're going to see what we do here. Deathrite Shaman, we probably just want dead. Yeah, I think we're going to just try and get this Curse Scroll active as soon as possible. So we might just play... I think if we play Swamp, Double Dark Ritual... So that's 6 mana. We can do Snaring Bridge and Curse Scroll. So we can just, like, scroll this Deathrite Shaman away. And then we'll be down to, like, 2 cards. And our opponent won't be able to just hoof us. They will need to actually combo and get, like, a Rex... Or they'll just need to get a Rex Sage. Okay, we have another Swamp, so we've increased the number of cards in hand. Alright, so we're going to do this. We have the cards to eventually cast Liliana. Next turn we can activate Curse Scroll still. Alright, so it's Snaring Bridge. Using 3 of that. And then Curse Scroll, we're going to name Swamp since we're more likely to hit it. One really weird thing I've noticed with MTGO is it seems like the randomized thing that they do really works off percentages, because when you have like 2 or 3 Swamps in hand, like one other card, you almost always hit Swamp. And of course, this one time now I've said that, we've, revealed a Liliana Dark Realms. Yeah. So, but I noticed a lot of times, like, actually in Curse Scroll with the randomization, like, I've had multiple activations and testing so far, where it's like I have 3 cards in hand, 2 are Swamp, and I always reveal Swamp, or 2 are Smallpox, I always reveal Smallpox. You got punished for keeping... Yeah. Game 3, the Eldrazi player kept a soul land and got wastelanded. Oh, I didn't realize... Are you talking about Vintage? Or are you talking about Legacy? Because I didn't think there was Eldrazi in the top for Legacy. But I know in Vintage there are like multiple shop styles decks. I wasn't sure if one of those was maybe Eldrazi. Alright. Let's reveal some of these. That was Legacy? Oh. And that was an internal... Oh, that's weird. Okay. Alright, so we would love to top deck a Knight of Soul's Betrayal, although we don't really have the means to cast it currently, so maybe we don't want to top deck that. Alright. Knight of Soul's Betrayal will be great here, though. That might have been a really greedy play, doing the double Dark Ritual for the bridge and the Curse Scroll activation. Eldrazi versus Bug Delver in the finals? Ugh. That must have been miserable. They have really no means. No, they still have these to make more mana, but they can't exile lands because there are no lands. So it's going to be a little mini attack here, I guess. We're obviously not blocking. We don't have blockers. Thank you for offering the MTGO. Can I throw my Ensnaring Bridge in front of one of those? Hey, look, Liliana of the Veil. I don't really want to do that. I don't want to have to discard Swamp, because then I can't put this online. I can't get this into play. I think I just kind of have to do that, though, right? Like, I have to try and either turn the Snaring Bridge or Scroll on, so I'm just going to play that and tick it up. I could tick it down, but they've got, like, enough card advantage where that's basically irrelevant. I'm going to discard the Swamp, hope to top deck a land for this. If that doesn't happen, oh well. Chances are on my upkeep, I'm going to Curse Scroll, getting that Symbiote off the board, so I can stop any shenanigans with that. Is it still my turn? Yeah, just pass until their turn. If they attack Lily on the Veil here just to get her off the board, like, I'm not worried about that at all. If that's really what they want to do. Where did that Dryad? Oh, they discarded the Dryad Arbor. If they just natural order here, we're good. I'll say natural order for Rex Sage. We're not particularly dead in that case, though, so I'm not worried about that. Alright, so I would love to top deck land here. Get this on board. I think I might do that. Okay. Yep. Alright, we're just going to pass. We don't have any responses to anything. If we're dead, we're dead. There's not much we can do about that. They can't just outright Alpha Strike with like a Crater Hoof here until they find a Rex Stage, though, so not too worried about keeping this Curse Scroll online at the moment. And if we get Night Soul's Betrayal in play, like, they're going to need to actually Rex Sage that. So, like, then they'll just be stuck on like Death Rates and a Crater Hoof with like very little mana. Yes, 4 creatures probably coming at my Liliana, right? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of figured Liliana at least would be a fog there. We should be able to easily next turn just empty our hand. I'm hoping. Still kind of tempted just on my upkeep to just Curse Scroll and get rid of the Symbiote now. So I think I'm actually going to do that to ensure we kill that. And if we draw a land, like, we'll still have 1 card in hand, they'll have all these creatures, but that's not really a big deal. If we draw a land, we ensure we can play this next turn. If we draw a land, we ensure we can play something like a Night of Soul's Betrayal, which, well, we're really hoping to top deck here. Because that card would just be nuts right now. Okay, let's name that. That's off the board. So we take care of some of their draw power. What is this? Oh no! I passed! Damn it! I gotta stop using 6. I was waiting for them to do all their little tricks and stuff. And I just F6 through my turn. Damn it. Opponent got me. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like people online generally play very slow. It's probably better if I played a little slower, so I can think things through a little bit more, but whatever. Uh-oh. They're going to have some mana. That's what they're going to have. Another Deathrite Shaman. Okay. Okay. Dubs Deathrites. Rex Sage. There you go. Alright, they have 1 card left in hand. That last card is a natural order. They got it. I'm going to make them get the Crater Hoof, but I won't make them go through the attack step. They just don't have a Crater Hoof, which is potentially possible. Not likely, but possible, I suppose. Alright, but this Liliana Dark Realms is much worse. We definitely need like another Ensnaring Bridge or a Night of Soul's Betrayal. Nothing on upkeep. Hey, look at that! Alright, hit 1 that time. It better let me play this, or I'm going to like tilt Wicked Bad. Alright, that's Night of Soul's Betrayal. So we're going to answer their Rex Sage right now. They won't be able to get like a Wired Symbiote online. So we're actually looking really good right now, because like basically their entire board's gone right now. They'll have 3 Deathrites after this, so our Curse Scroll can slowly ping away. We're going to put this upkeep back up. We're going to put this upkeep stop back up, so we can start activating Curse Scroll to get rid of their Deathrite Shamans. Because like right now there's like 2 spells. Yeah, so right now there's not really enough to kill us, but it is worth noting that these can slowly kill us with every spell that goes to the graveyard. Yeah. Might be worth it just to actually put this in play next turn and start ticking up to like start taking swamps out of our deck to develop our mana base. So I think I might just do that actually. Vicious Factory. What the hell is going on? Why do I keep passing through that? I might just start hitting OK on everything, because clearly I can't handle the pressure of hitting 1 for OK. Alright. Tick up. Go get a swamp. My opponent have a response? What are they doing? Yeah. So again, one of the reasons Knight of Soul's Betrayal is very good is this. We are still dead to a top deck natural order. Or for just, can they cast Crater Hoof? So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, they can cast a Crater Hoof. So we're dead to top deck Crater Hoof or a top deck natural order. So we're going to have to try and slowly get these creatures off the board. We'll hopefully get Liliana high enough so... What is going on here? We can hopefully get this Liliana Veil high enough so if the Crater Hoof doesn't just attack Liliana, we can just minus Liliana with enough swamps in play to kill it, so they don't have like a board presence anymore. But we are very dead to a Crater Hoof at this point. I'm going to do that upkeep stop again, because we're going to want to be like, you know, activating Curse Scroll on our upkeep, using Liliana to go fetch out a swamp, play a swamp, and hopefully cast other cards. Nettle Sentinel does survive. I don't think I care about Nettle Sentinel, so I'm still probably going to Curse Scroll the rest of their board. Because again, like, Deathrights are more relevant to actually killing us. Upkeep, 1, 2, 3, Curse Scroll, target Deathright. I don't think I'm just going to float mana to exile something from my graveyard or whatever. What we have in hand, Swamp. Make sure we click Swamp, hit OK. Deathright goes away. Okay, go to our turn. Hey, look, we top deck a Swamp, so all that's still going to be live. And here we'll have a Mistress Factory to block with. So we can just pass that turn back. If they try to attack with Nettle Sentinel, we're just going to block it off the board. And then each turn we're going to get rid of Deathright, making the Crater Hoof less likely to be... Oh, not Crater Hoof. Please not Crater Hoof off the top. Yeah, there's a lot of mana there. This is probably a Crater Hoof off the top. Yeah, this is a Crater Hoof. Alright, so we're super dead here. Crater Hoof only costs 8, right? It's 5 and 3 green. Oh, they need to green sun for it? Yeah. I'm going to make him search it out. I want to see him at least have the card. I don't like to just scoop to just nothing, but if I see the card, I will scoop to it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that was unfortunate. It just took us way too long to get that stuff on board. 3 Engineered Plagues come in naturally. Toxic comes in. Actually, we have a lot of really good cards in this matchup. And then for this matchup, I'm not huge on Liliana Veil. She generally is just like a quick fog that really doesn't matter. I like the Lost Legacy to go get like the Crater Hoof out of the deck because we can't really do much if they just top deck and get rid of it. Smokestack's horrible because they go way wider than us. I'm not a huge fan of Mirage Mirror. The only thing that could be possibly relevant with that is like copy a Crater Hoof to block, but that's probably like literally the worst reason to keep it. I'm a little bit tempted to like trim on some of the discard, but I think it's still relevant enough where we keep it. The Lost Legacy, again, we just want to go get Crater Hoof out of the deck. It's one card we really lose to. Like a Rourke Thar, if they end up having it post-board, it's pretty rough. Crystal Worlds, their mana base is a little weak to Wasteland, but not too weak, so I'm actually probably just going to trim that. And I think this is where we want to be with the deck. On the play, obviously. Oh, I would have loved something different. I would have loved like a turn 1 Dark Ritual, Engineered Plague. So we do have like Engineered Plague, Innocent Blood, Curse Scroll, Night Soul's Peril. We have the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale and a couple Wastelands. So we have mana to still cast Curse Scroll. If we can draw Urborg, that would be ideal. So we can get this Engineered Plague in play. But we're going to keep this because Tabernacle should slow him down enough. We're going to leave just on like a turn 1 Curse Scroll, and then if they play when they play a creature turn 1, hopefully it's just like a Dryad Arbor or whatever. Did MTGO get like wacky with something? Like when you hit 1, does it like when you hit like this OK or whatever, it does pass to response? That's the second time it's passed my second main phase for no reason. I'm not sure why that is. Hoping that's not just some new weird bug with MTGO. So how's everyone in chat doing? I hope you're enjoying the stream so far. Let's see how many viewers we got here. Alright, so people are less interested in Pox than they've been in the other decks I've played, which is fine. It's fair. Keep our graveyard open. Okay, so we got a swamp. That's good. I don't think we play the swamp. I think we're just going to play... Well, I don't think we play the Tabernacle here. We're going to play Innocent Blood. Get rid of this X2 creature. And then next turn, if they're stuck on X1s, we play Engineered Plague on Elves. And then we play Night Souls Betrayal if we can get another Black Source. And on that stage, I don't think they can beat us. Like, they can play a Rex Sage that'll just die and answer one of the two permanents. Overall, that's obviously not really going to win them the game. So if they do that, I'm perfectly fine with that. We got the second Black Source, so we're going to be able to do just that. They are only on 1 mana right now. Looks like they kept a one lane hand. Elf is going to be what we're going to name here. I guess I could name Warrior, but I don't think it's going to be relevant for anything else other than Nettle Sentinel. So yeah, we're off to a very good start right now. I'm actually very happy with where this is going. Next time we play Cobble Pit and play Night Souls Betrayal and their board's wiped. Pendlehaven's not going to be good enough, buddy. Sorry to inform you, but it's just not going to do it for you. And then we also have like Wasteland to answer this Pendlehaven, take them off another mana. Yeah, they're going to attack first, getting that 1 point of damage, and then they'll play their other creature. They might Pendlehaven and get 2 points of damage too. That I don't think that's necessary. They're probably going to play Visionary here. They were trying to tap 2 mana. Green Sun for 1. So Deathrite probably, which means we just wipe their board next turn with this Night Souls Betrayal. I'm going to F6 just because we don't want to just have to wait on them and then respond. Alright, we got Smallpox, which is pretty awesome. What we're looking at right now means we can answer their entire board this turn and next. So this will sweep all their creatures. Next turn we can Wasteland and Smallpox, keep them off of their lands. If they play like some random creature that actually survives, which I can't picture what would survive at this point, Smallpox will also answer that, which is pretty nice. I'm not really sure. Yeah, okay, there we go. We got the scoop. I'm not really sure why they were still in there. I might have just scooped in response to the Night Souls Betrayal. Because like, it's like double Rex Sage at this point, where they would have to end up clawing back into this game. I guess they could have like Abrupt Decay. I guess they might have been like seeing, okay, if I draw a Black Source now, I'm going to Abrupt Decay that and hopefully get something done. But yeah, we were very much in the driver's seat there. We're just going to keep it because, again, this is like probably the best iteration of the deck we can have available for us right now. On a board state like that last game, though, like that's where like you might consider keeping Smokestack. If we had a Black Source, this hand's like insane. I can't keep it. I don't think we have enough powerful turn 1 things to do where I don't think we need to keep sketchy hands like that. This is a little bit sketchy. I would love to have Dark Ritual in hand again, but we have everything that made us win that last one. We're going to get a Scry. We're going to keep this. Tabernacle's perfectly fine. It's going to give us plenty of turns, hopefully, against them. So we're probably just going to lead on that Tabernacle and keep them off like casting. And since they led with Heritage, sure, they won't be able to pay and like cast another card if that's all they have. So I'm hoping that that's going to be what happens. I'm going to always yield to triggered abilities from Heritage Druid. I'd love to top deck like an Urborg Tomb Yawgmoth here to cast this Hymn to Torok to kind of tear apart their hand a little bit. If our opponent is on the... if they anticipate we might have Tabernacle, they might be on like crop rotation, like with a Wasteland package. I doubt that's the case, but if it is the case, we'll be okay. Just going to punch in for 1 here. Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming in again. It's good to see you. I'm terribly sorry, Grim G Lavamancer. Who are you again? I feel terrible every time I have to ask that, but I don't know. You're just all white people to me most of the time, you know? A lot of the people that come in here are just white people that I know from like Leaving a Legacy or Twitch or Twitter and whatnot, so... Always yield to triggers from that, because I don't care if you're paying for your creatures or not. You can lose them all for all I care. Little green men. Gaia's Cradle, obviously, is very good against the Tabernacle Pendulum Veil. So we're really, really going to need to top deck an Orborg here so we can jam this Engineered Plague. if we top deck a Dark Ritual, we can just jam Knight of Souls Betrayal, which might just be better. So green side next to 1. If they get another elf, they can make 3 mana, maybe cast a Symbiote. I don't think we're going to be dead here, because I think we've slowed him up just enough. Oh, Connor. Okay. Hey, how's it going, Connor? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Like I said, just random white people. All white people just look alike. Lost Legacy is not going to get there. That Guy's Cradle means they're going to have a lot of mana next turn. I was really hoping for our Orborg here, but we're just going to play this Mistress Factory. Hopefully, worst comes to worst, we can animate it, block, and save us some damage. Again, if we top deck like an Orborg or a Swamp, getting like an Engineered Plague or Knight of Souls Betrayal in play should be roughly all we need to do to win this game. So we'll see what happens. Hey, look, 3 mana, 3 creatures, perfect. 3 triggers. The main thing I always hated about Guy's Cradle in this matchup, when you have a Tabernacle, is when they play the second Guy's Cradle, the first one goes away, the second one stays, and then you're really in trouble usually. It's one of the reasons I really enjoy the know him. Am I missing something? I have him to Torak right here. There's 3 copies in the main. I have one in hand currently. I couldn't him there because I only have 1 black mana source, if that's what you're asking. And again, like, okay, so yeah, here I'm just going to jam the Engineered Plague. It'll wipe everything but the Nettle Sentinel, which is fine. Like, they'll still be able to cast... they won't be able to cast Rex Sage, actually. Because they'll only have access to 2 mana once they do that. So, name Elf, get rid of all that. So we're looking in good shape. Next turn, we can resolve Knight of Souls Betrayal. You played Factory... Oh, I did play Factory instead of Swamp. Yes, that's correct. I played Factory just like a random little blocker. Because I have Tabernacle and Pendulum Veil, they're slowed down enough where... if they're going to be tight on mana, they might not have that many creatures. If I have to block, like, a single Mistress Factory might be enough to survive. Might not be correct, but my Engineered Plague still acted like a Wrath, and obviously just got answered, which is unfortunate, but it'll be fine. I thought they also had, like, 4 cards in hand, so I don't know if, like, the hymn was enough. It might have been. Let's see. Yeah, I think I just got to play Knight of Souls Betrayal. I'm going to hold this Wasteland for right now. Next turn we will likely waste this Guy's Cradle, and hymn them. Next turn I will definitely hymn them. So they have Abrupt Decays in, which we kind of figured they might. Okay. Cavern of Souls. Always feels like such an awkward card for box. So if I just have a bunch of cards in my hand, I can just do that for myself, I guess, is what that comes down to. So that's actually something to think about. Okay. Why do 1 or 2 things when you can do them all? So that's going to be, that'll be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana in total. So I can Liliana and Lost Legacy name Craterhoof, which is super tempting. I think that might be too greedy though, right? Like, I think I have to Dark Ritual here because I want to cast like at least 2 of my double black spells. I'm gonna Lost Legacy. I'm gonna name non-artifact, non-land card. Yeah, I'm gonna name Craterhoof just because, again, that's like the only card that kills me through here. It's kind of funny that was still the select a creature for Engineered Plague up there. So Craterhoof Behemoth. They had 1 in hand, so they're gonna draw a card. They have a Crop Rotation and Guy's Cradle in hand. It's a little awkward. Since they have the mana up in Crop Rotation, we're not going to Wasteland them here. But we are going to hymn them. We're going to force them to do something. They're going to Crop Rotate here, obviously. Okay. So they're going to lose both cards in hand, which is at least 1 Cradle. They got another Forest. I don't know what that gains aside from just untapping Nettle Sentinel. I don't know if that was worth it or not, but sure. Like, maybe they're not, like, a lot. I know, like, one of the guys I know that plays Elves, Adam, I think he has at least 1 Wasteland in 75 as a Crop Rotate target for stuff like Tabernacle at Pendulum Veil. So I was kind of anticipating that there might be that, but maybe my opponent wasn't expecting a Tabernacle. That is possible. It's not like an absolute staple for Pox, but it's there enough. Deck thing is definitely a possibility. That makes sense. Hey, Elvish Visionary can't be countered. And the draws them a card, but it dies. Yeah, deck thing is another fetch line for them. I'm fine with that. Let's see. We won't be able to animate Mishra's Factory. Yes, we will. We have a Tabernacle that taps for black mana. We're going to play this, start digging out some swamps. I'm not really scared of this card, so I don't think I need to answer. There we go. So I actually won the match. So we beat Elves. It was a very long, drawn-out game one where our Snaring Bridge kept them back from comboing for a few turns, but then they found Rex Sage, so they were able to Rex Sage, and then they Green Sun Zenith for X equals 8 for Crater Hoof, so that was a dead one. We're actually 2-2, so very odd. Being on blue-white land still, I expected I would have gone better than 1-4. I went 1-4. The other day on Astral Slide, I went 1-4 as well. We're 2-2 on this weird Pox deck, so that's I mean, Elves is actually like a very favorable matchup for us. And then Eldrazi is like, it's very iffy. Like game ones can happen where they have like all their soul lands. They still jam all their big creatures despite Wasteland, despite Smallpox. And then like Chalice for 1 can also be really annoying for me. Check Pile, this is an artifact heavy version of Pox, so this might actually be a little rougher against Check Pile because my mana curve's fairly high, so their mana curve's fairly high, and their mana curve being on the higher end for like Jace the Mind Sculptor, Leovold, Kolaghan's Command, stuff like that. It's probably much better than what I'm trying to do as far as being the slow grindy deck, so I think that's all that happens with Check Pile. And then the Moonstop you match, Chandra is definitely the biggest problem. I believe I got a game against... No, I didn't get a game against them. They went on a quick Rab Master I couldn't answer. But I got the Lost Legacy, take all their Chandras, which is what we eventually end up losing to game 2, which I did jam a Knight of Soul's Betrayal, which may have been incorrect because it nerfed our Mishra's Factory, so we couldn't pressure the Chandra as well. And then they end up just flipping some Fiery Confluence to just finish us off after nugging us a few turns. So I won the die roll. I'll definitely be on the play. Let's hope for 3-2 in this league. That'd be awesome. And actually, playing Pox in this has actually gone fairly quick. I love this hand. Double Swamp, Innocent Blood, Hymn to Torok, a Crucible, a Wasteland, a Mirage Mirror. I'm gonna keep the crap out of this hand. I'm gonna keep this hand so hard that it won't be able to get away. That's not funny. I don't know what I was going for there. I'm terribly sorry, viewers. Please love me. Please don't leave. I just want friends. I am amazed that a blue-white land still the deck I've done really well with at my local meta. Did horribly, but I actually just like 2-2 in this league right now. I'm gonna jinx it too. I'm talking this trash right now, and my opponent's just kind of crush me. Yeah, my opponent's probably gonna crush me. They might be elves, just given their Oracle and the fact they have these. But if I had to guess, they're more likely lands, which is terrible for me. Yeah, Ghost Quarter, they are definitely lands. So Mirage Mirror actually gives us a lot of play against the Merit Lage. So Punishing Fire ends up being really the only thing we're too worried about. They only have Ghost Quarter right now, so this Wasteland becomes a swamp, which means we can cast our Crucible next turn and start Wastelanding them. If they have Life from them already, we're in trouble. This could also be Green-Black Hex Steps, which might actually be tougher for us. I would have loved to be able to keep up a couple mana for Mirage Mirror to become a land in case of Abrupt Decay, if this is Hex Steps, but we're going to see what happens here. I would like to get this Lily on the Last Hope and play shortly, because I do want to start ticking her up to get the emblem to start making zombies to close this game out. Yeah, Innocent Blood's real good against true names generally. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Alright, crop rotation. So they had multiple crop rotations in their first two, at least the first couple draws. Thespian Stage here. They have a Cullis. I was going to say, I don't think they just get us here, do they? The fact they got rid of Ghost Quarter is a little odd. Crop rotation. Here comes an Orborg probably. I don't think they just make a Merit Lage here, sorcery speed. I don't think they can. Ancient Tomb. Oh, okay. So yeah, we're just gonna Innocent Blood, Crucible. I think no, they'll be down to one land. We probably just Innocent Blood, Wasteland, and take our sweet time. There's no card they could have in hand that actually like stops us from really ruining their day. Like Sagiri Step won't stop that. We're looking good here. I'm liking this. Yeah, we're gonna get Crucible in play. We're not gonna waste them. I want this Crucible. I want to be able to waste lock them. Yeah, if I copied the Depths with Mirror, it would become a Merit Lage. That's true. But they also have stuff like Sagiri Step, so they would actually be able to step their. They can actually Sagiri Step their Merit Lage past my Mirage Mirror. So I don't want to rely on that. So yeah, we're gonna wasteland this Ancient Tomb away. Unfortunately, they were able to make this a basic early, so I can't just get them. But if they play something else, we have another wasteland up, and this will just close out the game really quick. Yeah, look at that, we're good. All right, so Ensnaring Bridge we know is going to be good. They're going to have answers for it. That's fine. We need the Pithing Needles. Step can't give colorless protection, but Step can give Pro Black, and when you Mirage Mirror a Merit Lage, it'll be black. So that's the only problem there. So we're going to bring in the 2 Pithing Needles. We're going to bring the extra Ensnaring Bridge. I kind of am tempted to bring in something that can just be like, okay, Hexmage never matters, like an Engineered Plague, because Hexmage can answer our Planeswalkers. Hexmage can give them like a super fast combo. So I feel like Dark Ritual, Engineered Plague for that, it gives us a little more play, but I don't think that's going to win us any games particularly. So I'm not really interested in doing that. We also, we're going to trim a Night Soul's Betrayal. I'm not huge on Smokestacks, but with the way their deck combos and whatnot, they're more likely to be low on permanents to make Smokestacks relevant. So I'm tempted to keep it. We're going to see if we have anything else we really want to take out, though. We want all our sack effects. So the 1 Pox, the 4 Small Pox, the 3 Innocent Bloods, those are all staying. Lily Veil obviously stays. Lily Last Hope's Quick Clocks, that stays. Lily of the Dark Realm seems bad here, so I think I'm just going to get rid of that. She works well with Smokestack, but we have, the Crucible. We have, more permanents post-board, so I think Smokestack's okay to keep in. It's possible we want these, actually. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of Curse Scrolls. I'm going to get rid of the Tabernacle. That's actually not relevant here. I'm going to bring in my Graveyard Hate and Surgicals and Extirpates. Because, Extirpate, if we just, extirpate your Dark Depths, I can't just crop rotate, put one in play, and still have one. So that's a relevant interaction to think about. It's possible we probably do want some number of Night Soul's Betrayal still to shut down, Hexmage if we do get that type of board state. But Curse Scroll just seems bad here. I think we're pretty well set up in this. Depths is a very stupid card. Especially with, it's not so much Depths is a stupid card, it's more so the cards that interact with Depths make it a very stupid combo, I think is the problem, really. So we can turn 1 Dark Ritual Lily on the Last Hope. Hope just ticking her up for a few turns is enough, but we do have Smallpox to stop their combo. We have an Innocent Blood kind of peek at what they're doing, so I'm going to keep this hand, because I don't know mulling to 6 or even 5 is going to be better. Oh my god, is this... They actually have Grove Punishing Fire in this deck? Wow. Turn 1 Sphere Resistance too, that's kind of brutal. Are we playing against the same person? Is that a usual thing for Hex Steps? I don't know if I highly doubt Tom Hepson here, but I've never seen the Grove, the Burnwills Punishing Fire in this deck. But that actually is really good to know, because it makes the Graveyard Hate we just brought in a lot more relevant. It also means... This looks like a completely different deck now. So it makes our Graveyard Hate a little more relevant, and it also means our Planeswalkers are a little bit more... are in a little bit more trouble. There's a better chance we just, lose it. Yes, please. That sounds great. You don't get Life Loams. So their hand is Grip, Grove, Rainforest, Tabernacle. Yeah, I mean, we aren't particularly worried. The Tabernacle Pendulum Veil is a little bad for us. I selected that loam already. You get rid of that. You do not get that loam. The Tabernacle is a little rough for us, only because of the fact that our Liliana Last Hope Ultimate will be a little awkward. We'll need a Wasteland to answer the Tabernacle, so our we don't get taxed on our tokens, but yeah. Did he actually show Depths cards? He seemed like he might have just... Yeah, he might have just been lands with a fast combo. That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. But, the one thing that I thought was a little odd, which might just be correct, honestly, in lands, because lands needs to be fast, It might have actually. They had he had an Ancient Tomb main board he was able to crop rotate into, and that's what kind of kept me on the fact it was the green black depths deck. He also had the Orborg, so I don't know if did he have Orborg? No, it was Ancient Tomb he crop rotated into. I was thinking it was Orborg, so he could tap depths for mana. Um, but yeah, I was a little confused about the fact that he had the Ancient Tomb main board, because I know some lands decks sideboard it just to have like the access to like turn one Chalice or Sphere Resistance a lot faster. Maybe it's just correct that my opponent just main boards one. Maybe that is where lands needs to go. I honestly am not sure. Yeah, absolutely. Um, so I can Dark Ritual into Liliana the Last Hope, which I think might be correct. So our opponent's hand, what have we seen here? So we got rid of their Loams. We're not worried about that. The Ghost Quarter doesn't matter. The Grove has been in play. So we still know everything that's in our opponent's hand as far as I'm aware. I'm going to Dark Ritual into this Liliana the Last Hope. The Grove is kind of a problem if they get like Punching Fire online. But we know what they have in hand, so their top deck has to be Punching Fire. And through Sphere of Resistance, it's going to be harder for them to like keep our Planeswalkers in check. So I'm going to just jam Liliana Last Hope here. Hope I can get hoping for a Wasteland so I can answer Tabernacle if we ultimate this Liliana. This Thespian stage is probably copying just another land. I don't know what they're targeting. Grove? Okay. So they're going to have 3 Groves in total. Yeah, lands with the Ancient Tomb, it's not particularly odd. Like, it's definitely not something that they don't regularly do. Like, I know a lot of lands players are sideboarding the Ancient Tomb just for the fact, like, again, like when they're boarding and stuff like Chalice, they want to have access to this Smokestack's probably horrible. I'm going to get it into play, but I'm not going to start ticking it up until... Oh, I can't play that card. We don't have enough mana. We're just going to play Lost Legacy. We're going to target them and name Punching Fire. I think taking Punching Fire means our Planeswalkers basically can't get pressured at all. And if they can make a Merit Lage, hopefully they have to make it instant speed, or sorcery speed, so we can just instant blood or smallpox it away. Yep, so that's where we're going to go. So like that top deck Surgical was just amazing. I wouldn't mind if having it like turn 1. But beggars, I can't, I gotta just accept the fact you don't always get it. Please discard Dark Depths. If my opponent gets anything that's not Dark Depths here, I think they made a mistake. They discarded Grove, so here's a Dark Depths. Alright, so we need to top deck Wasteland. If we top deck Wasteland, we can waste to make them use it. That's not a Wasteland. Yeah, we're in trouble now. Let's see. We can't just Smallpox keep them off mana. Yeah, we're pretty dead here. That was a bad top deck, another swamp. Oh boy. I would love to have been able to make them crack that, but I don't think I can. I think I just have to hope to jam the Smallpox, they panic, make a token, and sack it. I doubt that's going to happen. This person seems fine with lands, but we can hope that they make a mistake. Sometimes that's the out you got to play too. Smokestack. Oh, I shouldn't have sacked Smokestack. That gives us way too much information. I'm going to sack this Orborg. They still have plenty of mana, so that's not relevant. Yeah. Let's see if they don't make it end step. If they don't make it end step, we're going to be okay. Yeah, they're making it end step. You got it. You know how your cards work. You got it, buddy. Yeah, I don't think we changed anything. We now know they're definitely not Hex Steps, which is relevant. But I don't think we changed anything because I don't think there's anything else in here that's good against that deck. Like, we could board in Toxic Deluge and just kill a Merit Lage to make it sorcery speed. That's not really a thing we want to do, though. I think this is fine. And in this case, if it is true lands, they're not running Sejiri Step, which we were worried about before, so Mirage Mirror can just answer that. So Mirage Mirror can just block a Merit Lage all day. And then we just have to find a way to answer Punishing Fires. So hopefully we find like Lost Legacy and just name Punishing Fire, use Mirage Mirror, block a Mirror Age all day. We'll be good. Crows and Grip might break that up, but we have enough ways to kind of restrict them a little bit. So hopefully that's not going to happen. But oh, you know what? Smokestack, real bad here. I'm going to keep in Curse Scrolls just to have an additional card to pressure the opponent if we get stuck on that. We are going to be able to play. We have Mirage Mirror and Staring Bridge and a Crucible. We have a lot of non-basics as well, so I'm a little sketched out about keeping this, but I'm going to try it. If they're on Ghost Quarters, we just go get basics. We're fine with that. If they're on Wastelands and like Exploration, we're probably just dead unless we top deck Swamps like we've shown we can. A lot of our games so far, we top decked a lot of land that was basic, so hopefully it happens, but it might not happen for us. So our opponent did mulligan. It could be a leyline in the mulligan too. Probably not. Yeah, we're going to lead off just on Mistress Factory. We want to make sure we have this black source in hand, so if we top deck something relevant, we still have access to it. Okay. Alright, so now we have multiple of the Orborgs. I'm going to play another Mistress Factory. And let's see here. So this one's newly controlled. That one gets half mana. This one gets half it. I'm just gonna have this Mistress Factory attack them. The 2 damage probably won't be, even remotely relevant. But you never know. Sometimes you're just, oh crap, I'm 2 damage shy, and it's like if I took that early attack early in the game, I would have been fine and won. But sometimes you take risks, but I don't want to, miss out on some early damage. Pox is very difficult. Does not have a very strong clock. Alright, so it looks like there's a good chance they might just have a really quick combo hand. It's unfortunate that keeps us off some of the spells in our hand. If they have something like a Crows and Grip in hand, we can make sure that this Ensnaring Bridge is relevant. Punishing Fire is the only card here I think we care about. Sphere Resistance will keep us off for another turn. Tireless Tracker right now is shut off. They don't have mana in hand. And Tireless Tracker just does generate a lot of card advantage, though. I'm going to take the Tireless Tracker, right? Yeah, they have Grove, so Punishing Fire is irrelevant. I'm going to take the Trios Tracker. Grove basically makes our Planeswalkers irrelevant, so I'm going to have to find an answer to either Punishing Fire or Grove in a few turns. Sphere Resistance are a little annoying. The fact they're going to have a second Sphere is a little frustrating. Ghost Quarter we're fine with. Yeah, you got another Sphere. Cool. Okay. Okay. There's another Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, no. Don't do it. No. Why? Oh, it didn't let me float mana either? Are you kidding me right now? I don't like MJGO. This is a bad, bad program. That was terrible. I can't even respond and float mana. That sucked. We're not top decking land like we usually do, so that's unfortunate. Fudgicles. What are they copying? Another Grove? Yeah, sure. You have another Grove. Oh, that was terrible. Yeah, this is such a beating now. Now we still need to draw 2 lands to make any of these cards relevant. Oh, that was so bad. Yeah, I mean, like, Tracker we can beat, because, like, if it wasn't for the second Sphere, like, Tracker we can beat, we just play, like, a second Liliana. And, oh my god. I just can't top deck. I cannot top deck land this game. Pretty much every other game we talked on land, no problem. And unfortunately, we were down a game, so... I still have this Orborg, so their Ancient Tomb doesn't hurt them. That makes me sad. Discarding Smokestack. Oh, boy. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I should probably be attacking. Oh, they have Punishing Fire, and I don't want to just lose my land. That's why I can't attack. I actually do have a good reason to not attack. Oh, Jesus. I guess I can't use 2 Punishing Fires. So I could attack, make them use the spell, and then pump. It's like, I can start doing that. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because 2 a turn is a lot faster, or 3 a turn possibly is a lot faster than just 1 a turn. Um, yeah, we're gonna get rid of... So Dark Ritual, like, literally doesn't matter at all. It's 3 mana to make 3 mana, so that's just gonna go away. Oh, this is really unfortunate. Can't believe I did that with Urborg. Oh, he has a gamble. I need him to discard the Dark Depths real bad. Nope, they discarded Life from Gnome. They just gambled for Dark Depths. We're in trouble. Okay, so we have Pithing Needle, which we can cast. So we're gonna Pithing Needle. So right now we have to name Grove if they have Dark Depths. That's unfortunate. They don't have another Thespian stage, so we're just gonna have to name Grove of the Burnwells here. Ugh. All the other games I can find all the land. I've drawn so many cards with no land. It's so bad. Can't believe I did that with the Urborg too. I didn't realize you couldn't just float mana and play it. But I guess that is a state-based action. You can't activate abilities at all in between, so I guess that makes sense. It's just unfortunate. Because now we're still 2 land away from casting any of these cards. Like, Ensnaring Bridge is super relevant. So we're still 2 mana away from casting any of these. And then we need to draw a runner land, basically. Wasteland's not bad. It's a good start. If I can draw another land, I'm really happy. No, wait, no, I was going to attack. If they have Crop Rotation in hand here, no, we're not dead. They need a Thespian stage now. I wouldn't mind finding a Surgical for the Life from Loam. I like that they're running Sheltered Thicket. It's another red source and it's still a cycle land. Oh, they found Thespian stage. So now we are in trouble. If I don't draw land here, I am in trouble. I wonder if they actually gambled for Life from Loam. They don't have Dark Depths yet. I haven't seen their hand in a while, so I don't know if they could have. Let's see what we did see. So we've seen both of these cards. We know they have Punching Fire in hand, like, if it's not in their graveyard, because we haven't answered it yet, so... Stage, Misty. Alright, so they're still short of Dark Depths. Swamp, that's awesome. So I'm going to play Ensnaring Bridge right now. I'm going to then jam another Ensnaring Bridge. I'm going to then jam probably Mirage Mirror. And then we should be fairly safe. Crucible Rolls might actually be a good play. I wonder if Crucible is the next card we play. They don't have Crows and Grip are okay. So we know they have another Misty Rainforest in hand. They have a Punching Fire in hand. So that's 2 of the cards they have in hand. I don't think we know anything else at the moment. Thespian Stage is copying Wasteland. Yeah, okay. That's not good for us. It might have been correct to just play Crucible there. Yep. You destroy my Wasteland. Yeah, it might have been correct to just play Crucible. There's no reason I should... now they have Dark Depths. There's no reason I should assume they had Dark Depths earlier. The fact they keep dredging Loam makes me think they might have the Crows and Grip in hand already. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's so bad. Do they have the mana? They do have the mana to cast if they have... Oh, man, that's so bad. So if they have a Crows and Grip in hand, they have the mana to cast it, so this is not going to matter. If they don't have Crows and Grip in hand, then... Okay, yeah. So we still have a turn up. Double Punching Fire is going to be a really slow clock. Alright, so we know they have in hand. They have Ghost Quarter, Misty, Tranquil Thicket, Punching Fire. There's, at the moment, still no Wastelands that they can start hitting us with. So if they start Ghost Quartering us, they pull Swamps out of our deck. They could just Ghost Quarter lock us if they want to go on that. They're down to 32 cards in Library, so it's going to be a little tight if that's the game they really want to try playing. We will see what happens. We'll see what they decide on. Yeah. I really would love to top deck another land, especially a swamp. That'd be nice. Oh, they dredged another wasteland. That's not good for us at all. We are very dead here, I think. I need to top deck just runner basics at this point. Hoping that they end up dredging past any Crows and Grips. If they dredge past like one Crows and Grip and we draw a Surgical, we're gonna... Oh, they did dredge past this Crows and Grip. Alright, if we can draw one Surgical, we can Crows and Grip that. We can get rid of Crows and Grip, and then we just have to be Punishing Fire, which is not going to be easy, but it's possible. Yeah. They have not played land yet, now they're going to play Wasteland. So we need to top deck Surgical like now to hit the Crows and Grips. And then we would need to get like an Extirpate. Yeah, even Extirpate's not going to be good enough. Oh, this is so bad. Can't believe I did that with that Urborg earlier. And they didn't have combo. I should have played Crucible to keep up on land drops. This did not turn out well. I'm very upset with this right now. Oh well. If I can top deck in the Pithing Needle, we can name Wasteland. Because like Ghost Quarters will place our lands, Wasteland just kills us. They're going to keep dredging back Wasteland. We might not even end up having enough mana to do that anyway. So, I think our play right now is just Surgical for the Punishing Fires, honestly. We don't particularly know all the contents of their hand. It's probably mostly just land, but yeah, Wasteland's going to destroy us. Double Wasteland, too. Yeah, we're just super dead. This is game 3, and we lost game 2, so we're definitely, I think we're going 2-3 here. This is just the beats, real bad. They're not wastelanding us yet. I'm assuming they're going to wasteland us now. I didn't float mana, so I don't know why they would wait on that. Oh, this game ended up being brutal. Oh. We start the drawing 3-drop train again. This is so bad. Alright, so while my opponent is basically playing with themselves, how are all you doing today? We got the slow burn going on with the Punishing Fire. Not sure particularly what we're going to do here, but hopefully... So like right now we're looking to like... They need to not wasteland us. We need to top deck like Surgical, which we can cast through these. I mean, even if they wasteland us, I guess we can cast Surgical through these. And then we'd probably just hit Punishing Fire at this point if we can catch them in response to triggers, but they'd have to have both their lands tapped, so... I'm not particularly a fan of that game plan, but I think it's the only winning game plan. They have way less cards in their deck. And if they can never get a... another non-basic, that's not good. We can't just hold the lands in hand. I guess we gotta do that, right? Yep. You have Wastelands, I know. Yeah, I don't know if they're ever going to leave their Punishing Fires susceptible to a Surgical. I guess we can still cast Extirpate at this point. So Extirpate would not be bad. But we do have... They can still activate Grove in response, so we need to make sure like both Groves are tapped or whatever. So that is a thing to consider and think about. I guess casting Lost Legacy actually still just answers Punishing Fire, but again, we can't cast 3 mana spells right now with Double Sphere out. So that's not even like a play. Yeah. They're going to have triple Grove now. I assume they play Grove, Wasteland, Wasteland us. And triple Grove, I don't think we can beat that. I don't think they're Wastelanding Urborg because they have the Ancient Tomb. Now I'm looking back on it. Because they need that extra mana to cast, maybe. I don't really know why they're not doing that. Is there something we can name with Pithing Needle that shuts them down? I guess we have to name Wasteland here. Like, we want access to our own Wastelands, but we have to name Wasteland because we can't just have them Wasteland us off mana. And we're not going to be able to do anything about what they're doing right now if we can't shut down, if we can't develop our mana base. So we're going to play the Pithing Needle. We're going to still fight it out. Like, we're not dead. Like, this is still... They can cast 2 Punishing Fires a turn. They make us gain a life. I mean... It's still like 2 damage a turn, 3 damage a turn, so... Yeah. We're going to go up to 7, go down to 3. Lost Legacy up top is not going to be enough. We need them to screw up. We need them to screw up and... We need them to screw up and then get a surgical on their punishing fires. If we get a surgical on their punishing fires, they've actually milled themselves enough where, like, they might actually just end up milling themselves without being able to ever answer. Oh, baby. Okay. See if my opponent taps low enough to where we can just surgical out their punishing fires and they can't do anything about it. I don't know with the extra grove they have now if that's going to happen, though. They have like one more punishing fire in hand, maybe. So I have 3 there. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's see. They can just gain another life, so... they're gonna get... Goddamn. Huh. Punching Fire is an instant, so they can just instant speed, just kill us next turn, probably. Yeah, I think we're just dead here. We're gonna hope that they really screw up somehow. I'm not really sure how they can screw up, but we're gonna hope that they do it. It's really our only option right now. Extirpates are cool, but doesn't do anything right now. I'm going to stream at least until this league is over, which is the last game of that. I can hang around, and if anyone wants to know about the deck, I can talk a little more about it. Ooh, you know what we can do? No, that doesn't trick them enough. This mana ability thing where Extirpate can't just hit a Punishing Fire is really unfortunate. It will gain us a life, so in response to the third one, it might be okay to just do that. Because I don't know if they can cast 3 more. Huh. So I think... Alright, so the only thing we can hope for is they don't know that Grove can tap for mana in response to Extirpate to save their Punishing Fires. That's basically our only hope. And they know that that's a thing, so... So I'm gonna write, since you know how your cards work, GG's. And then smiley face. I'm just gonna concede because obviously we've lost this game. That was pretty tough. I was hoping to break high again, you know. I was hoping to go 3-2 in another league. My first league was with Astral Slide, went 3-2. I guess my first league technically was the Community Legacy League that we did for Leaving Legacy a while ago. I had a random Wednesday night where I was able to like leave work early, and I ended up doing okay. I ended up doing 4-1 or 5-0. I think I went 4-1 because I think I played against Pat. He beat me on Blue Red Delver because Price of Progress is a really good card, and then I won out and he lost out. Scrub. Yeah, unfortunately our opponent knows how the cards work. I jammed Extirpate, and the way that Split Second works is, although your opponent can't activate abilities or cast spells, they can still activate mana abilities. So they can tap a Grove, and that would put a trigger ability on the stack that where we gain a life, which causes their Punching Fires to trigger, which means they can tap other mana abilities to return them to hand to prevent us from being able to like really hit anything. So that was really unfortunate. They had tapped low enough, we would have gotten them. They didn't tap low enough, so we couldn't just get them with like the Surgical we eventually drew and then the Extirpate we eventually drew. Unfortunately, our life total just got way too low at that point. So I probably should have jammed the Crucible over... I probably should have jammed Crucible over that first Ensnaring Bridge. They didn't show us any reason to... They didn't give us any reason to believe we were just dead to the combo next turn. And then... I'm not sure what else we really could have done to make that better, but just that one play would have made it so we can just keep replaying lands and hopefully keep our mana up to a point where we're not just dead and can't cast spells. Because if we can like jam Crucible, jam like a Mirage Mirror, jam a Liliana, like if we start jamming things and we keep our mana up, like a lot more plays become relevant, and a lot more plays become possible. Um, yeah, so I don't know. It's unfortunate, but you live and you learn. Yeah. If there's anyone that has any questions about the deck, I'm gonna pull the deck list up now. There it is, right there. I'm gonna pull this deck list up now. If anyone has any questions, I can go over it. Um, can't sort by name. I don't understand why that is. That's unfortunate though, because it would make it a lot easier to organize this. Can you do it so there's no sort option? Yeah, let's see if you can do it so there's no short option. Pile view? What's that? Okay. Doesn't show me. Okay, that's something. Pile view, that's this one. List view. Whoa. Yeah, I don't have all matching cards. Alright. So again, we were trying something different. We got the Liliana Dark Realms. We got a couple Smokestack. I think Smokestack is definitely that was a flop. I was never happy to see it. I mean, some of the matchups I had, it was never relevant. Like against lands, like they just out-permanent you. Against Moonstompy, they have stuff like Rabble Master, where they're going to be able to feed a Smokestack a lot better than we will. So Smokestack was definitely a turd. I would definitely get rid of that. And Snaring Bridge overall, I liked. It seemed fine. I think I kind of want a second Crucible, but I'm not really sold on it. The mana base seemed fine overall. Like we had a couple of, like variance bad beats for the mana and whatnot in our opening hand, so that was kind of rough. Liliana Last Hope seemed really good there. I was very happy to see her pretty much every time I saw her. Liliana the Veil was, I mean, she's still just always great in Pox. She helps keep your Curse Scrolls, your Ensnaring Bridges both online. Mirage Mirror, obviously. Mirage Mirror obviously did a little bit of work there. Blocked a Reality Smasher when the second came down, unfortunately. So it was okay. Like, I was pretty happy with the deck overall. Have you thought about jamming Nether Void? I had the 2 Nether Voids on the sideboard. I've absolutely 100% never been a fan of a main deck. I ran one main deck when I first started playing Pox, and pretty much found it miserable. Even, like, back then I was on 25 or 26 lands with, like, 2 or 3 Crucible Worlds. And I just, like, I always found myself getting mana screwed under my own Nether Void because of small Pox and stuff like that. Like, if I didn't have Crucible in play, like, my Crucible just got, like, countered or, like, destroyed in response to Nether Void. I always found that Nether Void just locked myself out. So I've never particularly liked having Nether Void the main board. The only time I really particularly like it is when you get to a deck like Storm, where like your land destruction spells aren't that great anyway. Like you keep Smallpox in, it's still a discard spell, but generally like you're trying to just jam a Nether Void, then Storm generally can't beat you. Like Belcher can never beat Nether Void, and like Storm like really struggles to beat Nether Void. Like they start playing like 3 mana for Lotus Petals, 3 mana for like Lion's Eye Diamonds, and they have to put like a Chain of Vapor on the stack and like sack LED, or just put a like pay 4 mana for a Chain of Vapor. So overall, Nether Void's very good against combo decks like Storm and Belcher, but otherwise, I hate Nether Void. It's like all my matchups tonight. Like I didn't face one actual combo deck. If anything, I'd mainboarded probably the Abyss. I've generally favored having a main deck that's more skewed towards creature removal, and then a sideboard that has additional like anti-combo options to aid with like my mainboard Inquisitions, my mainboard Hymn to Torox, my mainboard Liliana the Veil. Now the mainboard Lost Legacy. Lost Legacy was like, I think Lost Legacy was really good tonight. The times I saw it, I really liked it. Taking Chandra's out of the Blood Moon deck was great. We were very close to like just like a couple cards off probably of just like stabilizing the board. Like Night of Soul's Trail would have stabilized the board we were on when we lost. I'd be tempted to add like another Night of Soul's Trail main board, but I don't think that's correct. But another Lost Legacy I could see. So like these 2 Smokestacks could probably become another Lost Legacy. Maybe a copy of the Abyss. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. It could even be correct to have like a 3rd Ensnaring Bridge in place since we have like all the Planeswalkers. And I think Liliana Dark Realms was... she never seemed all that relevant. The fact she can go just dig out land to pad our mana seemed fine. So I think like I might keep Liliana Dark Realms. I'm kind of tempted to try a Liliana Vest next time I try this deck. Liliana Vest with a tutor effect to like go get like a Crucible or go get like a Smokestack or go get like a Pox or Mirage Mirror, whatever is relevant at that time, is makes it very tempting to try the Liliana Vest. She might still just be too expensive, but Yeah, we might. I'll probably test her out because I've always liked any variant of Liliana pretty much. Liliana Death Majesty might even be interesting to try. I don't know if that's gonna. Yeah, I think it's like 5 mana, right? I don't know if the abilities are really all that relevant, so maybe not. Um, you think Field of Ruin would be a huge pickup for this deck? That's actually probably correct. I don't know if I would replace a Wasteland with it, with a Field of Ruin, maybe two, or if I'd have to start like replacing like Cobble Pit and Swamps or something. Looks like my stream just started buffering. I don't know if that's on my end or the Twitch end. Um, so I'd probably try two Field of Ruin. I'd probably replace Ace Wasteland and a Orborg, maybe a Factory, probably a Factory. It would give me the opportunity to filter out the swamps and combine with Crucial Worlds. Could be a good way to just like keep my opponent off non-basics, plus kind of dig some lands out of my deck. I don't know if that's really great though. Like being able to like use Colorless Mana to go get like basic lands is probably the better side of it. Because like then I don't have to rely on Orborg so much, which can be awkward when your opponent's playing Wasteland. I don't know. I think Field of Ruin is definitely an option, but I don't know if it's a great option. I could test it. I'd probably test it too up, like I said. Probably replace an Orborg and a Mistress Factory. I don't know if I'd want to replace Wastelands. The card's just so relevant. Cobble Pit I didn't really see tonight. The only time I saw it, it just added mana. Cobble Pit, probably okay. I don't think I played... Yeah, it might be bad. I don't know. I think it's correct, though, to keep the Cobble Pit. Cobble Pit I'm generally pretty happy about when it's there. Especially for much longer games against decks like Death and Taxes, it's very good against. And Death and Taxes can be a struggle at times. What else? Is there any other... I don't think anything else in the deck really sucked. Like, Pox was fine the one time I cast it. Pox could probably go. Like, the 3 black is a little awkward at times. The life loss that you give your opponent is just... It's really relevant when you have, like, Curse Scroll and Nether Spirit and, like, a Mistress Factory kind of clocking your opponent. So, I think Pox might be necessary. So, I'd probably keep it for now, continue testing, see how I feel about it. As far as the sideboard goes, like, I don't think there's any card here I didn't bring in once. Maybe I didn't bring another Void. I don't recall if I ever did. I'm not sold on 2 Nether Voids. I think I might drop one. I might replace one with, like, a Trinosphere, or replace one with, like, another Pithing Needle, or, like... What else could I replace it with? Like... I guess if the Ensnaring Bridge goes main board, that would open up 2 slots. I'd probably put in a second Tox Deluge and a third Pithing Needle. A Hero's Downfall wouldn't be bad. Just being flat out dead to Jace was not a pleasant feeling in that game against Czech Pile. So having like a 1 of Hero's Downfall as like a 1 of Spicy Answer is kind of tempting. And then, like, yeah, like we lost the Liliana Last Hope, basically. The reason we scooped was, like, Liliana Last Hope we weren't going to be able to pressure in time, and she was at 7. And we can't ever beat her emblem. I guess we can get a Ensnaring Bridge in play, but again, K Command's a real card, and Ensnaring Bridge will only last as long as the first K Command says it can. Yeah, I mean, overall, I was pretty impressed. I think Nether Void's the only card we didn't really make use out of. And again, like, Nether Void's a card, like, I've always never been sold on Nether Void. I think as a 1 of it's definitely necessary, but as a 2 of, I think that just might be bad. I don't think as a 2 of it really needs to happen. So I might switch out like another Void, drop the Smokestacks, test a Liliana Vest in place of a Liliana Dark Realms, and then like main board and Ensnaring Bridge for the second stack. Do a Hero's Downfall and another Tox Deluge on the side, or a Hero's Downfall and a Pithing Needle. I don't know if that's 100% correct, but yeah, the deck definitely lost a lot when we lost top. Thank you, Miracles, for making sure no one could have fun. You don't always know when those like this bag could be a choking hazard for children. You know, there's always that one dumb kid that put a bag in its mouth, swallowed the bag, stopped breathing, choked, died. Like, Miracles is kind of like that kid. Miracles is the one that's like, hey, we all have a really fun toy named Top that fixes our top decks. We're gonna abuse that card with Counterbalance and make everyone's life miserable, and then we're gonna make Top get banned. You're welcome, guys. Sorry. Oh, look, we're still around. We still have all these cantrips. Yeah. So I'm a little salty about the loss of top. Like I almost feel like decks like this are just not really. They lost a lot. Like 12 posts, I've been way less hot on because losing top was huge for that deck. Like I've actually lost a lot of games that matchups that usually are just a walk in the park. Like Esper Deathblade, like fair true name Stoneblade decks. 12 posts should probably never lose against, but without top, like it can and does. Miracles again, like it's a deck that 12 posts generally will never lose against, but without top, it becomes a little bit of a tougher matchup. You wanted to play Doomsday, but top sad face. I don't think Doomsday needs top, but yeah, that's another like you get like these random like kind of sweet decks that just with a top they're okay. Like they can filter their cards. They don't necessarily want or can run blue. Um, and now they're just like Nick Fit's still fine, but it's still kind of rough because it has no real form of card advantage. It's like I crack my Veteran Explorer. My Cobble Therapy hits nothing relevant. Your Force of Will answers my first creature, or maybe you have something else that answers my first creature. Now I'm in top deck mode with all this mana and nothing to do because my top decks are bad. Most of my cards are bad. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not as hot on the deck as I used to be. That's why I kind of haven't really done anything with it recently. I might try to do like that. I had that Shardless Pox deck, so it's bug with Shardless Agent, and it has like Smallpox, Sinkhole, Abrupt Decay, Liliana, Life from Loam, Mox Diamonds, which were kind of awkward at times. But it had like Brainstorm, Ancestral Vision, and stuff, so it ran a lot like Shardless Agent on the card advantage front. And then on like the back end, it was still a Pox deck. So with all the card advantage, a lot of times with Pox decks, what happens is you can like Sinkhole your opponent a couple times, Smallpox, him. Like you're both on 0 resources. Your opponent top decks a land, top decks a Brainstorm, finds a couple more relevant cards. You're top decking like discard when they're always hellbent, and like you'll top deck discard. They played a Deathrite. You top deck like a Sinkhole, and they played a Delver. Like you get a lot of awkward moments like that, so it's kind of sad. But yeah, I'm kind of I miss top a lot. It really gave the deck a lot of filtering. I paired it with a couple Dackmore Salvage, so you could like draw step, dredge away 2 crap cards, and then like top. Oh look, there's a relevant card. Cool. Discard this Dackmore Salvage or something. Top. Oh look, 2 more lands that I don't need right now. Dredge away the 2 lands. So I had like a nice little engine going, and I've always felt very confident with Pox when I had that, but it's just the deck just feels much worse nowadays. You're gonna sleep Astral Side for this coming Friday. You are amazing. That's all I have to say about that. People that play Astral Slide are really amazing. I mean, not to, pat my own back or, say like I'm an awesome person, but yeah, people that play Astral Slide are great. If there's any other questions about Pox, 2 things I will note. I'm not playing Sinkhole in this deck. Again, I'm not huge on Sinkhole. Like, again, so Sinkhole a card that a lot of times off the top it's dead. When you have like, I will make a concession that there's a lot of Deathrite Shaman around right now. So Sinkhole becomes a little less relevant when your opponent can just go like Deathrite Shaman go, and you're just like, oh, I'll Sinkhole your land. And they still have like 2 or 3 mana on the next turn somehow anyway. As a result, I'm not huge on Sinkhole right now, so that's kind of where I made some of the room for the extra Planeswalkers, like the Smokestacks. I could run Fatal Push in this deck, and I might consider a couple Fatal Push in place of like an Innocent Blood, and like probably the Big Pox if I had to cut anything else. Fatal Push is probably fine and correct, but I don't particularly. I'm not a huge fan of Fatal Push when it can't hit a Gurmag Angler. That gets me really, really tilted. I was playing like the Togless deck or whatever. I was running a couple Fatal Push and like no Innocent Blood, and I ended up getting beat to death by Gurmag Anglers. Like my opponent had like 2 Gurmag Anglers. I'd have like a True Name and still die. So yeah, I might try a couple Fatal Push, but I'm not really huge on it. Like in Pox, it's a little less relevant that you don't have all the sack effects because you have like the Night of Soul's Betrayal, Smallpox, Lily on the Veil still. You still have like a lot of ways to answer a True Name, and like Fatal Push gives you another way to answer the other card. So I might try it, but I'm not huge on Fatal Push. It might be okay in this deck though. Tempted to one thing Reed Duke did do recently with Pox that I was considering doing but didn't do tonight. He ran a playset, I think, of Dark Confidant out of the board. Against Pox, a lot of times your opponent goes, a lot of times against Pox, your opponent's just like, oh yeah, I'll just board out all this removal. You got one Nether Spirit and a couple of Mistress Factories. I don't need to have removal for those cards. And then, you just go, okay, Dark Ritual, Inquisition U. Oh, look, this is going to resolve Dark Confidant. You can't kill it. Awesome. Start getting card advantage. I think that might be correct. And a build like this, I wouldn't do it because I have a lot of 4-drops. And which actually brings me to the next thing is there might be a case for a 4th Dark Ritual to help power out all these higher mana cost cards. But yeah, Dark Confidant, like, in a normal Pox build, I think might be correct. And, like, if I started, like, if I trimmed, like, these couple Smokestacks, if I trimmed these couple Liliana Dark Realms, if I trimmed, like, this Pox, these Crucible Worlds, not Crucible Worlds, these Ensnaring Bridges, I'd probably be more apt to add Dark Confidant to the sideboard. So, it is something I would definitely consider. Obviously, Reed Duke loves Pox to an extent. Obviously, he realizes, like, the deck's not in a very good place right now. But, Reed Duke does try to innovate the deck a lot and give a lot of hope to all of us hopeless romantics, I'll say, for us Pox players, because, we just want love, but we can't find it. Yeah. I think that's it. I mean, if people have other questions, I can happily answer. Dark Betrayal is not happening. I would much sooner run Ghastly Demise, which also doesn't answer Gurmag Angler, than a Dark Betrayal. Not really. I guess, yeah, I have to admit you're actually kind of right on that. It answers a Gurmag Angler, it answers Leovold, it answers Deathrite Shaman, it answers Baleful Strix, it answers Gristlebrand in weird scenarios. Dark Betrayal might actually not be terrible in Legacy. Maybe we'll test a couple copies of it. I don't think it's going to happen, because everything it does miss is actually really relevant. Like, it misses Stoneforge, it misses Thalia, and so it's a little awkward. I have not sleeved this version up in paper. I have it sleeved up right now in paper, but after I let that go, I'm like kind of tempted to not try it. I'll probably try it next time for Legacy. Probably I think this upcoming Friday is when I would end up trying it. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely try this deck in paper. I might try it with the changes I suggested of, like, dropping 2 Smokestacks, dropping a Pox, adding, like, what did I say I was going to add? Drop a Liliana Dark Realms for Liliana Vests, add, like, a 3rd Snaring Bridge to the main board and 2 Fatal Push. And then in the sideboard, again, dropping a Nether Void, moving the Ensnaring Bridge main board, and then adding, like, a Pithing Needle and maybe Hero's Downfall. I don't know if it would be Hero's Downfall I want, or another Toxic Delusion. I think it's Hero's Downfall, though. As we learned, like, Chandra's real tough. It could even be correct just to have a second Lost Legacy, because actually, I kind of want to see that card more. Like, having more copies of that card against the deck, like the Blood Moon deck, like, the one thing they really have that I can't particularly answer is Chandra. Like, it's the second game that we lost, like, we only lost because they got the Chandra out. And, like, the first game, like, we only lost because we didn't have, like, the, like, proper cards in our deck. Like, we didn't have our Night of Souls Betrayals out. We didn't have, like, anything like that. So, I don't know. It's definitely a work in progress. I plan on sticking to the deck a bit. I plan on trying it out again. I have a few things scheduled for the month of October and November for streaming. So, like, this Thursday, I'm going to be streaming Green Black Super Friends in Modern. Next Sunday, if I remember correctly, it's I'm going to be doing Assault Loam in Modern as well. The Assault Loam deck is a lot of fun. It's like my baby. Use Seismic Assault, Life Loam, and whatnot. And it's been that deck I find a lot of fun in Modern, and I would like to start playing it more often. So streaming gives me a chance to play it. Gives me a chance to kind of showcase some of the deck's strengths, some of the deck's weaknesses. So that's definitely possible. The rack is very good against Planeswalkers. The problem with the rack, though, Aaron, is... And again, for anyone that doesn't know, Turn 1 Thoughts uses Aaron as well. A-H-R-E-N instead of A-A-R-O-N. I'm not talking about myself in the third person, so I'm not having conversations that are, introverted or anything. Introverted was not the right word at all. Wow, that was horrible. The rack is really good against walkers and could answer a Chandra. The only problem with the rack is it's a 1-drop, and if I can't sneak it under a Chalice, then I have 0 answers to Chandra, if that's what I'm relying on. That's my only problem with the rack. Um, so yeah, my next few. Let me see what I have here. Just gonna double check my sent emails and see what I sent as a schedule. So I had Pox for today, the 22nd. 26th, which is this Thursday, I have Black Green Super Friends. Um, so that one's pretty sweet. If you're into modern at all, you're definitely gonna enjoy that one. And then yeah, next Sunday I have Assault Loam with it has Young Pyromancer and Dark Confidant in it. Um, that deck's a real blast. I kind of want to, I want to get on stream. I want to be able to post some video of it to show like just how good the deck is. I think people underestimate it a lot, and its weakness to some graveyard synergies or anti-graveyard hate. Anti-graveyard hate, no, just graveyard hate, not anti-graveyard hate. Its weakness to some of those kind of what gives it really the bad feels. It's like the deck's hard to pilot to start, and then it's hard to pilot through graveyard hate. If you know the deck really well and you pilot it really well, and you have the answers to graveyard hate, you're actually like, the deck's actually like a ton of fun. You can really win. You can really win a lot. Like most of the time when I run that deck, I do really well with it. Now that I've made changes to, I added 4 Life Goes On, 2 Collective Brutality for the burn matchup. So that's been really good. Paper Legacy, usually I get to play twice a week. So I could play 3 days a week actually nowadays. So there's one store, which is actually a store I work at, called Gaming Etc. in Acton, Massachusetts. Really good friends with the woman that owns it, Michelle. I was really good friends with her. I ended up, when I lost my management job at a restaurant, I ended up going to work for her because I needed something quick to make sure like I kept my income up. She took me on right away, and we've been friends. She's been a great boss. She's really helped me out. And I get to play there Tuesday nights at the tournament starts at 6:30 for Legacy, and then Friday nights tournament starts at 7 for Legacy. And then if I want to play Modern, we have Modern on Mondays there at 7, and then Modern on Fridays at 7:30. Modern on Fridays, I don't know if it's keep going, but it might be still going. I'll have to double check our winter schedule. And then at That's Entertainment in Worcester, Massachusetts, which is where I live, they have Legacy every Sunday at 1 o'clock. They were doing, like last Sunday of the month, they were doing Modern. That didn't really fire. Then they did Frontier. That didn't really fire. So they're back to doing Legacy. So at the moment, I have the chance to do 3 Legacy tournaments a week within 40-minute drive. If I want to drive a little further, there's like Pandemonium in Boston that is on Thursdays. And then there's like Wednesdays if I really wanted to play with like some proxies and stuff. There's the Wiz in Westboro. I'm not personally a huge fan of that location, so I don't particularly go there. But yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to play Legacy here. I do live in Massachusetts and on the Northeast, which if you ever heard anything about the regions in in the U.S. where Legacy is big, Northeast is definitely probably the top Legacy spot in the country, I think. I know one thing I know is like whenever we get an SUG here, it's always Legacy. A lot of the local stores have a decent amount of like Legacy tournaments. So yeah, I mean, I'm in a pretty good place. You're in the South. Whereabouts in the South? Are you near like because if you're near like I don't know, is it South Florida Magic Group has some people down there, and I think there's an LGS. I think there's an LGS down there where they all play. There's wherever Team Tusk is that Atlanta, Georgia, I think. I believe they have a pretty strong Legacy scene. I'm not too familiar with other regions. I don't particularly care about other regions generally because it's not relevant to me. I just know that I'm spoiled with my Legacy. You're in Tennessee. Yeah, I can't help you there. I know about as much about Tennessee as I do about the Great White North Canada. I'm told there's stuff up there. As far as I'm aware, Canada only has snow. They have snow, they have hockey, and they have waffles with maple syrup, and they're very polite with clean streets. That's all I know. And the streets are made of ice. That's what I know about Canada. I know just about as much as Tennessee. That's rough, though. I'm sorry to hear that you don't get much Legacy. To be more serious, I am sorry that you don't get to play Legacy that much. You said you might get it once or twice a month. That's really rough. One of the reasons I went on MTGO is just so I can get Legacy like at my leisure, and unless I'm streaming. If I'm streaming, I obviously can't do this. But when I'm not streaming and I'm playing MTGO, Usually the attire is like boxer shorts or no pants, because who wants to wear pants when they don't have to? Yeah, I won't play standard. I'm not gonna lie, standard looks pretty cool right now. I'm kind of interested in it, just because there's a lot of like interesting, weird things you can do. Um, but like one of the main reasons I want to play standard is like I want to play Search for Azcanta as much as I possibly can, but I can play that in Legacy on the same night as I can play standard. So why would I play Search for Azcanta in standard when I can play it in Legacy and have more fun? So that's what I've been doing. The card really is the truth. From the very first day it was legal, I picked it up, tested it, did fairly well. Well, no, I did poorly that night, but Search for Azcanta was not the reason I did poorly. It was actually one of the reasons I didn't feel absolutely miserable the whole time I was doing it. Um, and that card's just the truth, you know. The very first night I was like, "Yep, tested this card. This card's really good in Legacy. I promise you, if you try it, you will not be disappointed." Yeah. On that note, I am probably gonna call it a night. I will say thank you for hipsters for supporting me and, you know, sponsoring me for writing articles, let me stream, stuff like that. Thank you for Card Hoarder for offering us, you know, this partnership where we get to borrow cards. Just really looking to supply any type of content. I want to bring you all like just random things. I want to be able to just kind of run back all these random brews I've been working with for a while. The next couple decks I have coming up are modern, so that's Thursday and Sunday will both be modern decks. I'm thinking the next stream I do after those two, so not this Thursday, but a week from this Thursday, it's probably going to be... I had that Triskaidekaphobia deck, so I'm probably going to try doing that. I don't know if I'll do that through a league. I might just play in the tournament practice room for a while. A league probably means I'm more likely to find matches and play, so it might actually be in a league that I do it. But that's still not really set in stone, so we'll figure it out. If anyone in the chat right now wants to check out hipstersofcoast.com, go to Column Brew Corner. Any of my brews that I've brewed in the past, except for the Seance brew, do not bring up the Seance brew. I will not do that. That person was very, very stupid. I will not support that. I will not do it. That's the one deck that I brewed that I will not play around with. So if I haven't made it clear, don't bring up Seance, but anything else in my column. If there's people that want to see it, you know, make your voices are heard. You know, if you go to my Twitter at Aaron Kazaniga, you tweet at me, you say, "Hey, I saw this brew you had. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty sweet. You know, I'd love to see it in action. Would you stream it sometime?" I'm definitely listening. I'm definitely happy to, you know, take requests and play around with some things. And if there's anyone that there's something they want to see on Legacy they haven't, modern, whatever, just request it. You know, I'm happy to brew up whatever people are looking for. So, you know, thank you Card Hoarder for making this all possible. Thank you hipsters for supporting me and believing in me. And, you know, give me a forum where I can shout from the hills and say, "Look at this crazy pile I put together." Maybe someone will actually lose to it for once, you know. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been quite the ride. I've been writing for hipsters for 2 years now. I got a lot of articles on my belt. A lot of them are actual tried and true actual brews. Some of them are tried and true that like they're good for LGS, maybe not so much for a large tournament like a GP. But you know, some of the brews were just absolute crap. You know, you take the good with the bad. But yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. Wish I could have ended with a winning record, but you know, definitely learned some stuff about the deck. Had a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to running this in paper soon, and you know, maybe running it on stream again soon. Yeah. Thank you all for stopping by, and have a good night.